Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays, and today I have with me PacMan. He is back, so say hi, PacMan.
I'm back.
And we have a special guest. We've got Loquitur Gaming. He has joined us. His channel, where he's done a lot of really great playthroughs. One of them definitely is Aaron Trespass Odyssey. You need to go check out his playthrough of that. Very detailed, very amazing. So welcome, welcome. I've linked his channel in the description below. Just go out, give him some love, give him some likes on there. So hey Zach, how's it going?
Good, thanks. And I'm going to be facing this way when we play because my monitor's on this side, so I'm going to be a little side shot here.
The way I have you set up, you're looking at me.
Yeah, pretty good.
Because then you turn, I was like, okay, so you're gonna look at me. There we go. So, hey, Circato, how's it going? Well, excited to see this. Beerman, I know nothing about this at all, but I like games, I like watching playthroughs, and I like Canje, so it should be good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Matt, what's going on? Gee golly, hey, this is a game I backed. Excited to see a new playthrough before it ships. And we are excited to see it too because we are going to be schooled by none other than Zach. He's going to be teaching us how to play this game live on stream, so it's going to be a good time. We're going to be going through the demo on Tabletop Simulator just to let you know. Zach's on the West Coast, so, you know, us getting together to play a board game at a table is... Teleporters haven't been invented yet, so take that with what you may. Anyway, before I begin, I want to say thank you to my patrons, my YouTube subscribers, and if you're neither and never care to be, no problem. Just welcome to the table. You are always welcome here. It does not matter. But do realize that I did turn on subscriber-only mode only because I always get spammed by the sleazy porn bots. It's not fun for you. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for our guests. So I've turned on sub-only mode. You just have to sub in, chat, and then when the stream's over, unsub. No harm, no foul. Don't even worry about it. But if you want to be part of the chat, that's what you're going to have to do because we want to protect this playthrough to make sure that it doesn't get spammed, okay? Janet, what's going on? Hey, everyone. Look forward to watch you play this. Loquitur, thanks for your videos on this. So, Janet's been watching them. So, we're looking forward to it. All right, let's get some information, and then we'll get down to the digital table. There was an update. I'm so nervous for things to break because OBS and Stream Deck had an update. So Earthborne Rangers should not have a rating yet. But it does for unknown reasons. And I say it shouldn't have a rating because there's a demo out and potentially things might have changed between what is delivered and what's on this demo. So kind of holistically judging that seems wrong, which is why there was a big discussion that we had before on One Stop Co-op Shop Saturday chat about rating things before they're delivered. This is one of those cases where ignore that number. Wait until you get your game. And then if you really care about the numbers of this game, wait a full year until after all the games have delivered. And then you'll get, because everybody will have played their games, they'll have given the proper review, and then you'll see the score that makes sense. So ignore that 7.6. The game ain't even released yet, so people need to calm down. 1 to 4 players, best play 2, but we're going to play 3-player today. 60 to 240 minutes, so double that for streaming. And just 12 plus, weight's about a 3.14 out of 5, so it sounds a little bit complicated, but we will find out. And Zach, you were right. It does have Adam and Brady credited on here. You're correct. So Andrew Fisher, Brooks, Andrew Navarro, and the Saddlers are credited as designers on this game. Artist is Evan, and published by Earthborne Games, this is their first game out the gate of what they've done. A lot of well-known names in the industry on this one. So if you will have seen their names on multiple games. So I'm very excited to see how they set this one up. Matt says, Canje, you could take one of your all-in pledges and buy 2 teleporters. I wish. Hey, Elaine, what's going on? All right, let's get down to the digital table so that Zach teaches how to play. And stop staring at me. He's making it awkward. He's looking at me. All right, so.
I'll be like this all night.
So, okay, I got my gain up a little high. Let me turn it down. All right, there we go. That should be a lot better. Okay, so All right, Zach, I'm going to turn this over to you. We're down to the table, so you're going to teach us how to play this, and I will shut my face and let you talk. So go for it.
Okay, so I think just to set the stage, up in the corner we have a campaign book and the rule book. There's some story in the front of the rule book. So the setting here is it's sometime way in the actual future of Earth. And basically, mankind had destroyed the climate and destroyed the planet. And there's a great line in the story where it says something like, mankind did something you wouldn't expect. They came together. And they solved all the problems, but it took a bunch of different projects, and they messed with like the genetics of the animals and stuff, and it was projects that took thousands of years.
Is this Horizon Zero Dawn? Is that what this game is?
I don't know. I don't know where they got the idea. Yeah, so that's basically it. There's a lot of nice stuff, fluff in the front of the rule book that I'll leave it for you guys to read, but just know that this is thousands of years in the future, and mankind has now re-emerged from, I think they were like hiding in caves while the Earth like corrected itself from all these projects that they were doing. And now we are rangers who are taking care of the Earth and this valley. So over here on the left-hand side is a map. The colored in area on the map is where the demo will take place. And we will be visiting these nodes that have names on them throughout the gameplay. And as you can see on the rest of this map, there are a lot of places to visit. I think there's 37, I think is what the location deck total on the bottom says. 37 locations, so there's a lot of places to visit.
But the demo is only the areas that are not grayed out.
Correct, yep.
Okay.
And then in between those places, there's like a path and then a little symbol. The little symbol that's on the path will tell us what other kind of cards we mix into what we're going to have called our path deck, and we'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
And in the demo, we have the water one, the mountain one, the forest one, and I think it's the deep woods one old growth is what it's called. So we don't have the grasslands, the rivers, the swamp, or the ravine. So there's even path, like terrain, that's not even in the demo. So there's more stuff to be had once you get your physical game that is not here in the demo. And that's even written here on the table. They wrote it for you. There's 5 more terrain sets in the full game and 7 more location sets in the full game. So just some more orientation of the board. These play mats are actually extremely helpful. I think they were an add-on during the Kickstarter. You don't need the play mats to play. It's very intuitive where the zones are, but they actually are going to help us learn the game.
Are they coming in neoprene?
I don't remember, but I think so.
Then you need the mat. It's neoprene.
Always need them.
So if a Kickstarter has a neoprene mat, it's a requirement.
It must.
Much. I mean,
All right, so we'll
me every
start
time.
here with this mat. This deck here, this red one, is called the Challenge deck, and we'll see what that does later. This over here is going to be where our Path deck goes, and the Path deck, it's not necessarily the enemy deck, it's the game's deck, because there are going to be friendly characters in the Path deck.
Okay.
It's not all bad stuff.
Okay.
So don't think too much like Arkham Horror, like where everything that comes out of there is just going to be like bad stuff.
It's not the chaos bag. Gotcha.
Yeah. So here, this first row right here, you can kind of see the name of it at the top of this area. It's called the Surroundings. There's going to be a weather card here, the current location where we're adventuring around. And then if we have any missions, there will be missions over here.
Okay.
This game is very sandboxy. There are going to be things that the game will have you go do, but it's not like a requirement. And even in this demo, we're not going to be given like a breadcrumb mission or anything at the beginning. This is just to go explore the valley and see what you find.
Okay.
In the demo.
All right.
There is a little breadcrumby thing that comes with the game. that if you want the spoiler, you can kind of see the devs of the game. They do it on their YouTube channel and the playcast, where you can see the breadcrumb thing. But the campaign book that we have here in the demo has certain passages and stuff taken out to not have any of the main plot spoiled.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And then underneath that area, there's an area right here that's called Along the Way. There's going to be game cards that go there that we will be interacting with.
Yeah, this art is amazing. Really beautiful
Yes.
art. in this game.
Evan, I think, is the lead artist. He's great. They actually did one of their. They do a podcast, but they also have it on YouTube as like a vlog.
Mhm.
And I think there was one where Evan was actually working on the art of one of the cards during the show, and it was actually really cool to watch.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
All right, so then each of our individual player mats, the top of it, there's a boxed area that says within reach. So these cards here will be game cards that are within reach of only you as a ranger. And then there's another box here where you're gonna, if you have any gear equipped, you'll keep it here as equipped gear.
Okay.
And then your deck is going to be here. We'll talk about the fatigue stack when we go through the rules. We're each going to get a roll card and an aspect card, and we'll go over that. And then we each have our own little token. I have a pink one that I thought was purple, but that's okay. It's pink. There will be some cards where we have to actually move our token onto the card to do something with it.
Okay. All right. You got me excited. Let's do this.
Okay, so this demo comes with 4 pre-made Rangers.
That are loading. Slowly. Ever so slowly. Hey, Lance, how's it going? Hey, Greg, what's going on? It's reticulating spleens. 1 second.
It's still loading.
Yep.
For you.
50%.
I would suggest that we play with the top right one, the top left one, and the bottom left one. Unless you want to play with the bottom right one, it has a little aspect to it that's like an extra mechanic.
I'm fine with your suggestion. Just give me the cleric and I'm good.
That would be this one over here.
All right, that'll work for me.
Okay, so if you want to play that one, so take this card that has the 4 boxes.
Well, first let me ask. So, PacMan, Zach, are you both cool with me being the cleric?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just not gonna alpha game it and grab it. So, grab which one?
The card with the 4 color boxes.
Okay.
And then put it in the matching little area that says aspects.
Okay.
And then you want to take the picture card.
Is that my
and put it in
roll?
the roll. Yep. And then the other stack is your deck.
No, my roll. All right.
And then PacMan, you can pick one of the other 2. So this one is going to be good at like traveling, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And this one is like an engineer. I believe they have a lot of like tech and gear cards in their deck.
Let's be engineer. Why not? So.
Surprise! Oh my gosh, look at my surprise face.
I was thinking about traveling, but I was like, eh.
Engineer, let's do this. So I have Voice of the Elders. That's my role. And exhaust. Spend 1 energy to add 1 token to an aid card. So Evan created
there'll be
this.
cards in your deck that have the keyword aid on it, and then
Okay.
you can exhaust your roll card to add another token to it. But we'll see that. So what we can also do, just as to finish some setup, there's tokens in these bags right here.
Okay.
You want to grab a number of those tokens equal to the number that's in the same corresponding color box on your 4 color card.
Okay.
Okay.
And those are called aspects. So green is awareness, yellow is spirit,
Yes.
blue is focus, and red is fitness. Whoops, not the whole
The
bag.
whole bag, huh? You get the whole bag? Hey, Steve, how's it going? Curious to hear your thoughts at the end. Yeah. This is my first time playing it, so I'm super pumped. The art is gorgeous!
It looks really good.
Like,
Really nice.
really, really good. Let's take a look at PacMan's role. So his is the Masterful Engineer, so exhaust, ready, attack. Pretty cool. Looks like you've got 2 awareness, 2 spirit, 3 focus, and 1 fitness.
I'm very focused. It also sounded like you said ready to attack, not ready attack.
Well, I've got
might be the same thing.
might be the same thing. I've got 1 awareness, 3 spirit, 2 fitness, and 2 focus. So I've got a lot of spirit, which I'm happy about. And then let's take a look at Zach's. His is the Undaunted Seeker. When you perform a test, dodge 1 card. Interesting. And you've got 2 awareness, 2 spirit, 3 fitness, and 1 focus. Very cool. Alright, so it looks like you've drawn some cards. What's this about?
I'm just getting some cards out to go over like some stuff.
Okay.
For the rules section.
Alright.
So we can probably start by looking at these cards that I've got over on my area here.
Yep.
So when it's your turn, you're going to be able to either do a test or play a card. And we'll talk about doing tests later, but I wanted to talk about the playing a card, because when you look at these cards that are in your hand, in the upper left-hand corner here, this card says 1 focus. Like there's the 1 in the blue box up here. That's the cost to play this card.
Okay.
So if I was going to play this card, I would have to spend my 1 blue focus off of my aspect card, and then I could play the card from my hand down into my area down here.
Okay.
So let me move these up here to where my hand would be so we don't get confused.
You can put them in your hand. Let me make everybody the same team so you don't have to try to align stuff. Just highlight them and press the number 3. Team, boom, and team, boom. Okay. So it should be able to go in your hand if you highlight them all and press how many cards there are.
It's not doing nothing.
Oh, is there no context?
I don't think there's
a context of hand, right? Oh no, there's not.
Nope, not in this.
Oh look, he's got it.
Oh, okay. Well,
so there is a context of hand.
I don't know.
I guess the draw's just not there. Okay. Oh, sorry, you played that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I would use my 1 focus to play this card.
Okay.
So a couple other notes on gear cards, since we're looking at this card. In the right-hand corner over here where my hand is moving back and forth, there's 5 little boxes.
Mm-hmm. Top
you
right.
You can have 5 boxes worth of equipment out at one time. So this particular gear card is taking up 1 box. So I could have other gear. You might have a gear card that takes up 2 boxes, or another gear card that takes up 3 boxes. You can have a total of 5.
Gotcha. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay.
This gray symbol underneath the blue box in the up, that will come into play when we're looking at tests.
Okay.
And on the right-hand side here, this thing says 2 echoes.
Mm-hmm.
So normally when you play a gear card, it's going to come out with tokens on it, and that's where it tells you how many tokens you're going to get.
Okay.
So as soon as I play this card, I'm going to grab an all-purpose die here.
And just set it to 2.
To keep track of that I have 2 tokens on there.
Okay. We're rolling dice!
Yeah, I thought we were rolling.
Alright.
And then there's going to be some effect to use these tokens, and most of the gear cards are going to say exhausted, so you just turn it sideways like you would any other game. When
makes sense.
When you exhaust it.
Okay. Alright, makes sense. Alright.
So there are other kinds of cards. These are the most basic kind of cards that are called attributes. These are basically only used when you're doing a test. They don't have any other kind of cost to play. These are probably the first ones you would take out as you're getting rewards and changing your deck. Because they're the most basic. They only help you on tests.
Okay.
We'll see that. And just to continue going over the anatomy of the card, it's not going to have an impact on gameplay, but there's this little red thing right here that says 1 fit, and on the other one over here it says 1 focus. When you're doing deck building, you have to have that in your aspects in order to put it into your deck.
Oh, so this is also a deck building game.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I know I don't want us to spend full time just doing explain. Like, we can learn as we play. But I know this is important. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's basically the card anatomy for the cards in our hand. Most of the cards in your hand we can go over as we play them, and they'll
Okay.
be pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
The way the game goes is it's kind of broken up into sessions, and I think they designed it on purpose. So one day in the world is going to be a play session. You could play another day if you wanted to, but at the end of every single day, you clean up the game and put the cards back. And then if you're going to continue playing even that same day, then you redo the game setup, which has a little bit of impact on gameplay because there are certain things on missions, like if you don't do all the progress on a mission and get it to the next stage at the end of the day, then you'll have to start over the next day.
It clears all the progress off, or does the mission go away?
The mission does not go away. It just clears the progress.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Makes sense.
There are a couple different ways that the day can end. We could choose to end the day by camping when we travel, and we'll see that later. If your deck runs out of cards, and then you need to draw, or you get fatigued, which we'll talk about as another concept, then the day ends. The ranger got too tired. Your deck ran out of cards. If any ranger takes 3 injuries, the day will end. And there might be some friendly human characters that we come across. If they get harmed to their capacity, then the day ends because we're supposed to be the rangers, like protecting them.
Okay.
That can also end the day. And then there are also some really pivotal missions that once you complete it, that might also end the day.
Okay. All right. So kind of guiding the narrative.
Yep. So during the day, over here on the right-hand side, this is a really good explanation. We will do these we'll go through these rounds. Each ranger, starting with the lead ranger, will draw a path card, and then we get to the meat of the game where we're going to take turns performing tests or playing cards.
Okay.
We keep doing that until we want to stop, and usually you play as much of these energy tokens as you can to do things, but you don't necessarily have to.
Do you get them back at the end of the round?
You do. Yep.
Okay.
You refresh, you get them back.
Okay.
All
right.
Then we decide if we want to travel to a new location once we meet a certain goal, and I'll show you that. At the end of the round, we draw a new card. We reset our energy pools, which is those tokens on the aspect card, and then we ready everything that's been exhausted and go again.
Okay, cool.
So I think I can explain the rest of the game if we just set up for the campaign.
Okay. So do you start with no cards in hand, or do you start with a set of cards in hand?
You're going to start with 6 cards.
Okay, so shuffle the deck and draw 6, basically?
Yep.
Okay.
And there is a mulligan rule now. There was not when they did the first demo, which is nice that they listened to feedback.
Yeah. The card draw in hand thing for me and PacMan work.
Yeah, it worked.
Maybe, yeah, if you put yours back on and shuffle it, then press 6, it probably should work. You should be able to drag both of them on, and it'll... Yeah, just shuffle it and then press 6. There you go.
Hey.
Oh, it just drew 6 more. Dang it.
Did you not order 66? So what we'll do is this. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do flip that, and then just draw a new 6. There you go. All right. Okay, so you'll lead us off, O Fearless Leader. So each ranger will start the round.
Well, let's go to the campaign book.
Okay.
And I was telling Canje beforehand, there actually is a really cool prologue here that they suggest you do the first time you play that will teach you some of the basic concepts of the game, and it also helps you build a ranger deck right out the gate. And then at the end of the prologue, it says if you don't like the deck that you've put together because you don't really know anything, you can always build a new one.
Okay.
But it's really cool.
Okay.
All right, so...
We're at missions, is that it?
Yeah. And this basically is a storytelling, adventure, exploration type of game.
Okay.
So I've been talking a lot. If you want to read the first part here.
Sure. I'm going to just shamelessly plug, if the devs are watching, Foreteller would be great to put this on. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Alright, so mission one missions. To start your campaign, perform the first 4 steps of setup on page 10 of the rulebook, then return. Ooh. Then return. What are you doing, man?
No, I tried to zoom in. Sorry, that was my fault.
What are you doing to me? Alright, so then return here to for the remainder of setup. So, cresting the gentle grassy hill, you see the unmistakable silhouette of Lone Tree Station rise out of the highland plains before you. Lone Tree Station is aptly named. The single massive giga redwood towers above the hills and swaying grass that surround it. You could just make out eaves and balconies among the gnarled bark doors tucked into the winding roots and hanging gardens suspended from the branches. As you draw closer, a woman in a freshly pressed cloak steps out from the main entrance and waves.
No.
Calypsa, your mentor for the past 9 months, strives towards you with a man who looks just about your age at her heels. Hello! She calls out. You made it! Just look at you! She clasps your hands. God, reading! What the frick is going on? I'm skipping S's. I'm skipping letters! She clasps your hands, her smile warm and her grip firm. I'm glad to finally have you. You're making me feel like. I'm glad to finally have you here, she says. Then she turns. This is Cal Ivor. I trained Cal last year, right before I started training you. Cal Ivor gives you a nod and greeting. A pleasure, he says. Put the Lone Tree Station location into play in the surroundings.
Okay, so we have a location deck up here.
Mm-hmm. And we're looking for a lone tree?
Yeah, I'll grab it out.
Okay. Alright. And that's the location into play.
So that'll go right there.
Alright, so we've got Lone Tree Station, location, pivotal, forest, ranger station. As a 1 next to it, you'll tell me what that means at some point. And then it says awareness plus health to search. Beneath the comforting shade of your Giga Redwood home to scout path cards equal to your effort, then draw 1 path card.
It's a huge.
Yeah, so this is an interesting spot to talk a little bit about the wording on the cards, just briefly.
Mm-hmm.
It says in the rule book, and I like the way that they did this, since this is supposed to be like a storytelling game, these cards are written out so that they're like full sentences and they make sense on what you're doing. But all that light gray italicized text has no effect on gameplay. It's just like more story.
Okay, gotcha.
So the bold word is important and the non-italicized words there are important, but not the gray italicized words.
Okay. So people can just kind of bypass those after they've played a long time, but are replaying the game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see what happens next. I'm excited. Let's see. Calypsa heads back to the station with you and Cal in tow. She speaks back over her shoulder. Please make yourselves at home. Explore the Hanging Gardens. Find Spirit Seeker Null and Cordo and strike up conversations. Get to know the place. After you spend some time here at the station, you should head out to White Sky, she says, or head up to Northern Outpost and see if Old Loon can use a hand. In fact, a story mission is available here with where Calypsa introduces you to the Rangers and your goals. This demo instead focuses on allowing you to simply explore the valley and leaves the city for you to experience fresh in the full game. For now, focus on exploring the world and finding other objectives. There's plenty out there for a ranger to do. So...
You're like rescuing.
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
If you get that song stuck in my head, I will never forgive you. All right, so...
Add it to the list.
Check the campaign tracker for the weather for current day 1. Put the corresponding weather card, a perfect day, into play.
So the campaign tracker is like at the back of the book.
Okay, but they're telling us to put a perfect day in.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that that's just what we're grabbing.
Yeah, I'll put it there. And then if we look at that card real quick, it's going to come into play with on the right-hand side here, it says 3 clouds.
Mm-hmm.
So we want an all-purpose die that's set to 3 on there.
Okay.
And then every time we do the refresh phase, we will tick that down.
Discard 1 cloud from this card. If there are no clouds remaining, flip this card. There's what's that blue though?
We'll get to that.
Okay. That's more the... Okay, gotcha. Okay. Where are we? Calypsa turns to you. Cal and I are heading out into the valley. We'll be on shadow patrol. That is, we'll never be too far away from you for the next few weeks. You shouldn't need our help, of course, Cal says. I can tell by looking at you that you're more than capable. Fool.
Well.
So he's not smart. Gotcha. Farewell for now. Calypso says and starts down the eastern path away from Lone Tree. Spirits guide you. Follow your instincts. She and Cal walk steadily out of sight. Create the path deck by shuffling together the Woods and Lone Tree card sets. 17 cards in total. Place it above the surroundings. Okay, so we're the Woods and Lone Tree. So there's the Woods.
Yep. And when I play this demo, I usually copy the sets into a new...
Oh, go for it. You have... Oh, I didn't give you admin. Let me give you admin so you could do it. Go for it. You can do it now. And then... Yep. The Lone Tree. Yep.
And then you can combine those and then shuffle them.
Right.
And then they can go down here.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So just a brief talk about why we're doing that. If we look at the map,
okay.
Lone Tree Station, you see how Lone Tree Station is like this bright brown and gold type of, and then White Sky is the same way, Northern Outpost is the same way.
Yeah.
And then the other nodes that have names are kind of more brown without the gold.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are gold are what are called pivotal locations. That means they have their own location decks that you would use when you're creating the path deck.
Okay.
If they don't have their own deck, so if they're like Golden Shore or Mount Nim, then there's this other huge set that's called the Valley set. And what you would do is you would shuffle all of those together and randomly draw out 3 and use those instead.
Okay.
So there's lots of random stuff that could possibly be in your path deck when you go to one of those non-pivotal locations.
Okay. Alright, so it says, then complete all initial setup by performing the setup steps on the back of the Lone Tree location card and placing 3 cloud tokens on the Perfect Day Weather card, which we did already. That concludes setup. You're ready to play. What you do now is entirely up to you. You could, for example, spend time exploring the different path types to familiarize yourself with the flora and fauna, or you could travel to pivotal locations on the map and delve into the path deck to find people in need of assistance and missions to complete. Take your time and enjoy. Okay, entries 101 through 130, 1.01 through 1.39 available here in full game. Okay. Cool, so I'm assuming we hit other points where we read other things. So we're in explore mode. Do we have a token to say where we are on the map?
There isn't one, but we could put one out there.
I got one for you. Objects. Opponents. We're gonna go basic on this bad boy.
Pick something interesting.
Oh no!
Oh, come on.
Black Pawn!
Boring.
So we're at Lone Tree Station. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so...
so we have to finish that setup from the location real quick.
Yeah, so we gotta flip it, right?
Yep.
Alright. So, arrival setup. Search the path deck for the next predator and discard it. Lead Ranger, draw 1 path card.
Okay, so the first thing is to search the path deck for the next predator.
Okay, so there you go.
There you go. That's a predator. It says predator at the top.
Yeah.
And then, okay, we have to pick a lead ranger also.
That'll be you. So draw your path card.
Okay, so I will draw a path card off of here.
Okay.
And flip it. Oh, great.
That looks fun! Are we?
This is the worst card.
I love that he's playing a game with me and he's surprised when he pulls the worst card. That's all.
What is this?
Caustic Mulcher. Looks fun!
I mean, it's like, oh, have fun in the forest. Take your time. Death.
Beings attached to this being do not ready.
So we're probably going to want to travel as fast as we can to get away from this guy.
So it
Maybe.
says, so the symbology you'll have to tell me. So it says if a something is on this biomeld, you cannot travel, and that something on this biomeld cannot be moved except by this test.
Yeah, so let's go over a couple of things. I'm also going to use this predator that we discarded as an example.
Okay.
So when you draw cards from the path deck, kind of the first thing you want to look at is up here in the corner, underneath that symbol that shows what set it came from. So these are both from the Woods set.
Okay.
There's a little arrow that's pointing down on the Prowling Woolhound, and it's pointing up on the Caustic Mulcher.
Uh-huh.
When it's pointing down, it goes along the way of the ranger that drew it. So if I drew this, it would come down to here it goes to within reach of the ranger that drew it.
Okay.
He's like interacting with me now in my example.
Okay.
Up arrow means it stays up here and along the way.
Okay. All right.
A couple other terminology things. The purple box in the top right-hand corner is called the presence of a card. On the location, it's still the purple box, but it's down here in the bottom left. It has a presence of 1. Presence is going to come up when we talk about tests and look at certain things we can do.
Okay.
The red box on these beings, this Mulcher has a 6. That's how much harm is the keyword for this game. It's like damage. In this game it's called harm. That's how much harm you have to do to that card to get it off the board, to discard it.
Okay.
A blue box like this is how much progress you can make to get rid of it. So there's 2 different ways you can get rid of it, either like damaging it, or certain cards will have ways that you can make progress on it, which in this kind of game, since we're like rangers and interacting with nature, it's like studying the animal or getting to know the animal's behavior. Or if it's a person, getting to know the person better or helping the person do something. You're making progress towards doing something with that individual card.
Okay.
A 6 and a 9 are very large numbers to try to achieve.
Of course they are. Okay.
Not surprised.
Our location up here, Lone Tree Station, also has a progress box, the blue box. The R means per ranger. So it's 3 per ranger. We need 9 progress on Lone Tree Station to be able to travel away from this location to go to a different connected location on the big map that we looked at earlier.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Is like, how do we move? So basically, to move, we need to progress on the location. So this is Lord of the Rings feel to it. Okay.
Yeah, kind of where you have to get the
progress on the location to be able to move forward. Okay. All right.
Starting right at the spider.
That I've seen movies with things like that. It does not end well.
Yep.
Okay, what else we got?
There's other text on the cards, but maybe we can go over some of them when we get more out. So let's actually start the first round.
Okay.
And if we look at the round steps, so the first one is each ranger draws a path card. So we start with the lead ranger when we're drawing path cards, and then you guys can draw them in whichever order you want. So I will draw the next path card.
Okay.
And it's another one of those Woolhounds. And since it has that down arrow, I put it within reach of me.
Okay, I'll grab one. And this one stays up here. Hey, that's your buddy.
Hey.
So this will come down to you. All right, so you got hanging gardens.
I got a garden. Yeah, it's fine.
Seems friendly. Seems friendly.
So, we don't.
Do I have a ferment card?
So let's look at the one that PacMan drew first.
Okay.
He did put it in the right area because it has the down arrow. It's within reach of him. But up in the right-hand corner next to that 1 presence value, there's a storybook entry, number 43. So we would immediately go to the campaign book and read entry 43.
That is on you, PacMan. Read your story.
You have to go over to actual 43. I got confused by this too. It's not 1.43. It's keep going to 43.
Oh, it's 0.43 or something?
No, it's
43. It's not a software release.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, did I go too far? Did I go too far? Oh, that's it. There it is,
It's
43.
41.
There it is, right
43.
there. Right there.
Hanging gardens. 5 meters above the ground, you step out of the doorway leading into the trunk of the lone tree and onto the wildly swinging catwalk of boards and rope. You keep a firm grip as you make your way towards the massive boxes. Each as large as a flatboat and overflowing with plants that hang from the tree's thick branches. As the wind shifts, you catch the heady aroma of blooming flowers and ripe vegetables.
Is there more to it?
There, yeah.
Page? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's 44.
No,
that's
that was
44.
it.
That was it.
Oh, that's it. Okay, it's just a little flavor text then for the card.
Nice.
Garden.
So if we keep looking at his card, it has the same thing of it has 4. If it takes harm, it'll be discarded, or if we can progress it 4, it will also clear, and it's called clearing, so it'll go away. You can either clear it with harm or progress.
Okay.
So there's a test on here, and we'll talk about tests. This particular test is he can use awareness plus little triangle symbols, and I'll show you that, to eat the abundant fruits, to add 1 harm to this feature, soothe 3 fatigue, and heal 1 injury. So I guess basically conceptually, you're eating the fruit, and you can do it 4 times, and after you do it 4 times, the harm would equal 4, so the card would go away. So basically, this is here to help us heal a little bit, and we'll talk about fatigue here in just a second when I talk about the wolfhound that's in front of me.
Do we have like an index of symbology? There's a lot of symbols that are on these cards, and
there's only 4, and they do have names. If you go like to the back of the rule book, I think it's the very last page of the rule book.
Is this the rule book right here?
Yeah.
Okay, let me. Oh, there's not a page hop. Oh, yeah, there is. All right, 48.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so it's reason. Gotcha.
Yeah, I always forget them, so I call them hearts, koi fish, compass, triangle thing.
As you should. As you should. Okay, so for him then, it's his. When we look at his card real quick, when we talk about his awareness, is that spending 1 awareness chip, or is that the total awareness he has?
So in order to do a test, actually, let's talk about test with a different example, because that one's kind of specific.
Okay.
When you take your turn, you can either play a card or do a test, and you can do a test on any card, basically any card that's out on the board that has a test on it. In addition to that, there are 4 common tests that are on the reference card on your play mat.
Okay.
So let's look at the first one. So the first one is called the traverse test. It has fitness plus the compass thing. So it says traverse X the nearby terrain, which is gray text, to add, and that triangle thing is progress. So I said there's only 4, but okay, there's another one. That one's progress. So you do this test to add progress to a location or a feature equal to your effort. If you fail, suffer 1 injury. So this is a great example because Lone Tree Station is a location.
Right.
So that traverse test is how we would get progress onto Lone Tree Station.
Okay, and that's a base one that's always available to you to try on your turn.
Yep, and we need 9 progress to move, remember?
Okay. All right.
So if I was going to do this test, the way that I would do it, it's a fitness test, and I know that from the red fitness at the beginning of the test here.
Right.
I have to commit at least 1 of my fitness tokens to the test because it's a fitness test.
Okay.
I can then commit any additional number of tokens that I want. So I could commit all 3 of my tokens if I wanted to.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, because it has the little compass symbol thing that has a name I don't know, I could also, from my hand...
That name is Exploration.
Oh, that actually makes sense since it's a little compass thingy.
Yeah.
I could commit any number of cards from my hand that have that symbol on it to add to my total.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So they're kind of like the symbols in Arkham Horror.
Okay. Okay. So Strider would be a good one because it has 3 compass symbols.
Yep.
Is it so? Let me, because we're playing this thing where we're recognizing other mechanics that are kind of evolved on this game. Is on your turn when you're doing that, you can commit as many cards as you want. Can we help you?
You cannot help me by playing cards. However, you might have a piece of equipment or a moment card, and moment cards are kind of like play this instantly kind of card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On its text will say something. It might say something like, on any ranger's test, or on any ranger's turn, or something like that. Then you can play it.
Okay.
Cannot just inherently give me symbols off of your cards.
Okay.
Or tokens.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay. Okay.
So as an example, just to go full loop, I could discard this card for this symbol in addition to my 3 tokens, and then I have like a strength here of 4. It's called effort, actually.
Right.
So I'm sitting with an effort of 4.
Okay.
So just like to talk about your cards are either going to be played for their benefit or for one of these symbols. So they're kind of like dual use cards.
Okay. Okay. So you've got 4. Now what?
Okay. So the difficulty on a test, if we go back to our example here, the traverse test, this one has a bracket with an X, and at the bottom of our common test card, it says X is equal to the presence of the card that you're interacting with.
Okay.
So if you remember on our Lone Tree station, it has a presence of 1.
Okay.
So the difficulty I'm trying to beat here is 1.
Okay. So it's definitely. Is there anything that counteracts you?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when we get to our challenge deck up here.
Okay.
So this is your chaos bag.
Oh no. Okay.
It's less cruel than the chaos bag. I would draw the top challenge card. And I'm doing a red test, so I flip this over and I look at the red number. I got a +1. So 4 on a strength of 1 was way over committing.
Right.
For this particular kind of test.
Right, because now it's a 5, which means you were fine. But there are things that could probably shift that number up and down.
Yes. So this is a good example because I drew the -2 green. So in this deck, there are 4 cards that have a -2 on it, 1 of each color. So there's 1 -2 green, 1 -2 yellow, 1 -2 red, 1 -2 blue.
Okay. Okay.
Everything else ranges with zeros, or sorry, with -1, zeros, and +1s.
Okay. Okay.
So knowing that, if you really need to pass a test,
you
just
go
need
big.
to do more than the difficulty, and you know you're guaranteed to pass.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense.
And then all of the -2 cards have this other little group of diamonds in the corner. What that means is when we're done resolving this card, we reshuffle the discard back into the challenge deck to reset the challenge deck.
Okay. All right.
So we reshuffle that.
Okay, makes sense. That seems pretty straightforward. So how many I'll put this back up here. Did you make this, were you officially making this test, or was this for example?
This is just an example, but we gotta hang on, leave this out because there's a couple things I want to finish.
Oh, go ahead.
So if we go back to the test, it says to add progress equal to your effort. So when you're doing tests, the important thing to remember is that you look at your total effort when everything is all said and done, not the difference between your total effort and the difficulty. So let's say that I had only committed 2, and I had drew a -1. So that would mean I end up with a total effort of 1 against a difficulty of 1. That's a success, and my total ending effort is 1. It's not like you have to go over the difficulty.
Okay. But do you get to put it, if you succeed?
If you succeed, you go by what the test actually says. So this test says add progress equal to your effort. So with my example, I ended up with an effort of 5.
So you'd put 5 effort on the location.
Yep. I would take one of these progress tokens, not the entire bag, or one of these progress die, put a 5 on it, and now we've got 5 of the 9 progress we need towards being able to leave.
Okay.
So then after you finish resolving the test, then you look at this symbol at the bottom of the challenge card.
Okay.
Here I drew the sun symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is where the game does stuff.
Cool.
So you start with the weather card, and you look to see, hey, is there a sun symbol on here? No, there's not. There's a mountain symbol. So that card does nothing. Then you go to the location. Does it have a sun symbol? No. Then you look at any missions you have. Is there a sun symbol? No. Then you look at all the cards along the way, and you look to see if there's a sun symbol. And any of the cards that have a sun symbol, then you can execute them in any order you want, which might matter with how things interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like the caustic mulcher says, if there's another active being, exhaust it and attach it to this biomed. If not, move. And that symbol is your ranger token to this biomeld. So active beings, since I'm the person doing the test,
You're the active being. Yeah.
Anything that says being on it that's in front of me along the way is an active being. So what this would actually do is it would
pull the wolf.
It would pull the wolf up underneath it. So this caustic mulcher is like eating the wolf now.
Okay, that's a horrific scene. Okay. Okay.
Yep. So then, if it hadn't gotten taken away, we would look at the sun here and resolve anything on it if we needed to.
Okay. And that would be only what's in front of you or across the board?
Because it's
only what's in front of me with a small caveat. If I was interacting with a card that's in front of PacMan, which I can do, I could do a test that's on it. So, say like these hanging gardens. If I wanted to soothe fatigue off of me, then I would be interacting with a card in front of PacMan. That would make any card in front of PacMan and any card in front of me active.
So anything you touch or in front of you. Got it.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. All right, this seems pretty straightforward so far.
Yeah, there's one other important concept about interacting with cards, and we haven't talked about fatigue yet.
All right. Do we want to play this out and then see when we hit that, or is that a thing we need to do before we?
It's probably important to know.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so in this example, I was interacting with Lone Tree Station, which would have been a bad idea actually, because when you interact with a card, any ready non-friendly card that's in front of you is going to fatigue you, and with the value of their presence. So what that means is, like if I was going to interact with Lone Tree Station, I would have to go through this hound. I would have to go through this thicket, and actually because this thicket has the keyword obstacle, if it has a keyword obstacle, you can't actually even interact past it, so I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Right.
And this mulcher would also fatigue me. So you look at all of the presence of all of the cards in between you. So a 3, a 1, and a 2. So what fatiguing is you draw the top card of your deck, and you put it over into your fatigue stack over here.
Okay.
I will have to take 5 of these cards and add them to my fatigue stack. And remember that when your deck runs out, the day's over.
Okay. Does that, when we talk about deck running out, that means fatigue, or does that mean discard, or does that mean both?
That means when this area right here, the Ranger deck.
Okay, both. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So fatiguing is not always bad, because there are ways to what's called soothe fatigue. And when you soothe fatigue, you draw cards off of your fatigue stack into your hand.
Okay.
If you remember, the Hanging Gardens actually had a way to soothe fatigue. The test on here could soothe 3 fatigue. So that means you could draw 3 cards from your fatigue stack into your hand.
Okay. So the only way for you to quote unquote die or become exhausted is your entire Ranger deck is depleted.
Or if you take 3 injuries. There are cards that can also injure you.
Okay.
And if you take an injury, that's going to actually accelerate your fatiguing a little bit. Plus, any of the cards that are in your fatigue stack on your discard, but we can look at that when.
Okay.
So that little step about checking if you're getting fatigued is, I added that to the test thing over here, the check fatigue at the top.
Okay.
But the rest of this is a pretty good little guide on doing a test.
All right, cool.
When we're taking our turns, anybody can go first, and we can go in any order we want.
Okay.
Other than you cannot go 2 times in a row. The same person cannot go 2 times in a row, unless you want to exhaust your roll card. So you could exhaust your roll card to go a second time.
Okay. And roll cards are no longer exhausted at the next round, right? We reset. Oh yeah, ready all cards. Yep.
Everything readies. Yep.
Okay. Is there, and this is just out of curiosity for me because I'm insanely OCD about this, is when we draw out here, is it a left to right situation or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. All right. Cool.
So just to go over the other basic tests to tell you what they do. The second one is connecting with an animal. That's how we can add progress. So like if I wanted to do that, I could add progress like to this wolfhound to try to get towards that 6 to get it off of the board, get it out of the way.
But is that only one progress?
It's equal to your effort.
Because it's
sorry.
Yeah, I read the rest. Okay, so how much ever you succeed by. Okay.
The next one is focus plus triangle thingies. Scout ranger cards equal to your effort. So what scouting is let's say your total effort ends up being 3. When you scout, you draw that many cards off the top of your deck, and then put them back in any order you want on the top or bottom of the deck, however you want.
Okay.
Then you get to draw a card. So if there's one card in those 3 that you draw that you really want, make sure that one goes back on the top. If you don't want any of those 3, put them all on the bottom, and then you're drawing blind.
Okay. Hey, Brian, what's going on? All right.
The last one is an awareness test, plus the koi fish symbol. But that's not really what it is, but fireball or whatever.
It is the conflict.
Conflict. Okay, so awareness plus conflict is an avoid, and the difficulty is the presence of a being to exhaust it. So if a being is exhausted, so say I did that and this wolfhound was exhausted, it's no longer blocking me from interacting with cards further along,
and it won't attack. It won't hit you.
And none of its challenge things will trigger.
Okay.
So the little sun symbol and the little red crest will not trigger when they're exhausted.
Can you only so continue because I'm getting some questions that are coming up for me. Go ahead.
That's pretty much it. What was your question?
How many things can you do on your turn? How many actions can you take?
On your turn, you can either play a card or do a test.
But that is it. One time.
And then it's somebody else's turn.
Okay.
One interesting thing to think about is that the game cards only do stuff when you do a test. If I play a card out of my hand, none of the effects on these cards are going to trigger. So we don't really have to worry too much about like the game doing something.
Yeah, I gotta see. I gotta see how you set up. So that's why I'm kind of like waiting to see how you set up, because that will answer probably 5 of my questions. So go ahead.
I think that's pretty much it for like basic concepts. So we drew our path cards. So we can talk about what we kind of want our goal to be. There are friendly rangers in this deck if we want to try to search some of those out. But this caustic mulcher is.
I'm assuming we want to either get rid of it or leave this location.
Yeah, but we do have a problem with this overgrown thicket in that it's an obstacle. We cannot travel when we have an obstacle on the board, and we also cannot interact with any cards that are past it while it's out there.
Okay.
However, you might have some cards in your hand or some gear or something, especially PacMan's deck, might have some gear that let him bypass obstacles.
Mulcher. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Chainsaw.
Bye.
And I also, my ability is when I perform a test, I can dodge 1 card. So what that ability means is that if, say I wanted to interact with this thicket, I could dodge this wolfhound and it would not fatigue me.
Okay.
With that ability.
Okay. All right.
So I think I'll
yeah,
go first.
yeah, because we don't know what to do. We're just kind of following your lead until we get into full swing of play here.
Yep. So we need to get rid of this thicket. We know that if we want to travel. So there's a couple of different ways. Since this is a feature, I could do the basic common test to traverse, because that adds progress to a location.
Okay.
Or I also could do, there's a test on that particular card. So say I was a ranger that didn't have a lot of fitness. Maybe I only had one fitness token, but I have a lot of awareness tokens. I could do the test that's on here that says I can do awareness plus exploration to hunt for a way through the foliage to add progress equal to my effort. However, my character is a fitness beast.
I am the no, I'm not the awareness person at all.
And I'm going to look at the cards in my hand.
I got spirit. I am your cheerleader.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm actually going to set up something for next turn, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to play a card. I'm going to, not all three. I'm going to use one. No, come on. One token.
Okay.
To play my trail markers and attach it to the overgrown thicket.
Attached to the
So it's
location or feature.
attached to location or feature, yeah. It's going to gain the trail trait because it right now at the top it does not have the trail trait.
Okay.
And additionally,
I see what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what it does.
And the reason I wanted to do that is because I have another card in my hand, a Strider that has 3 of the exploration symbols on it. This card can only be played on cards that have the trail attribute. So now I've given that location the trail attribute.
And then you can do some effort to really and because it'll double the value, I'm assuming. No, it's going to add 1 to whatever your thing is, which is cool. Okay. Cool play.
So that would be the end of my turn because I played a card.
Okay. PacMan, do you want to go next? You want me to go next?
Go for it.
I don't know what to do, so I haven't looked at my cards because I've been listening to Zach.
I mean, you got a bear, you got 2 dogs.
Yeah. Oh, they've given me They give me sled dogs. We all know how this is gonna end. So friendly, persistent, unique. So unique, I assume, means only one can be in play.
Yes, that's right.
Persistent means it doesn't go away, and friendly means it's friendly. Okay,
yeah,
so
friendly cards that are out on the board will not fatigue you if you're trying to interact with other cards past them.
Exhaust. Move a being and add 2 progress to it.
So moving a being, like this caustic mulcher is a being, you could move it from along the way to like being in front of you. And when you did that, then it would get 2 progress added to it towards the 9 that we would need to get rid of it.
Do we need to get rid of it? Is my question.
Okay. We do not.
Okay. So since I'm assuming, so having the puppy down might be nice. I see the healing here to heal you both with stuff. Move all progress from a being to a feature, so I can help get rid of something if something nasty comes up. That makes sense. And then a dear friend, search the path deck and discard for a human and put them into play with this card attached. When the attached human is cleared, move the progress from it to any number of other beings divided as you choose.
So that's actually a cool card. That one, you could search the path deck for one of our friendly rangers or one of the friendly humans in there.
I assume, though, because... but they would come, into play with me?
It depends on what the arrow says.
Okay. So, I'm feeling it's either I'm playing the dog or I'm finding a buddy. Oh, I also got Calming Presence. Attached to a predator. Attached card loses the predator trait. Ooh. Is this thing in front of your predator? It is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Before a challenge effect on the attached card would resolve, you may discard 2 progress from it to cancel the effect. Oh.
Yeah, we don't have any progress on them.
Yeah, and it could help you later, I assume. Like if you want to do something, there's progress on it. So now I've got 3 options. I can find a friend, get rid of that predator keyword on that mean puppy, and then or put down the dog.
Or you could also
or one of my common tests. And because
Yeah.
I'm kind of wide open, maybe I should do the common tests. It's spirit, right? The connect, is that the one to put progress on the obstacle?
No, that one is beings. So that's like animals or humans.
Okay.
Top one would be to put progress on there.
Oh, my fitness. Well, my fitness is 2. Do I have anything I can contribute? Nope.
Do you have any exploration symbols?
Nope. I don't think that's my job.
Yeah, so it would be a 2 against the presence of the card is a 1.
Okay. Maybe I could do the spirit connect thing with the dog in front of you. Alright. I'm being indecisive because I don't know what I want to do, so I'm just going to YOLO this bad boy. I'm going to put out the dog.
Woof.
For 2. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll figure it out.
Yep, I mean, this whole game is about exploring.
Yeah. So I will spend 2 spirit to put the puppy out. That's me. Alright, PacMan, what you got?
Oof.
And you actually have a really cool card. The Infusion Canteen.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know which one I want to play first. That's the thing. I mean, I wanted to make the joke. It wouldn't be me without playing the book.
Book is life!
But yeah, I'll probably start with the Infusion Canteen. Because you may place a spare energy token here as a reminder.
When you put cards out, can you immediately activate them, or is that a turn? Like it seems in the reason why I asked that is because it seems in the game that you only can do one thing. And so my question's more, can I when you have cards in play that say exhaust, then can you exhaust them when they come out, or are you stuck to, okay, you're either going to play a card, do something, or exhaust your card?
I don't know the actual answer to that, but I think you could do that exhaust because that's like a free action, I guess.
Which is okay. Okay, so when I played this card, could I exhaust it to add 2 progress?
I think you could, but you'd have to move a being to add 2 progress to it.
Would it attack me if I move it?
No. The game only does things when
I do a test of some sort.
Yes, that's like 90% true. A card might come out of the path deck that has the ambush keyword. If it has the ambush keyword, it fatigues you for whatever its presence is.
Okay. I'm wondering if I should move.
You could.
If I should grab that one off you.
Oh yeah.
And add 2 progress to it, which I think I'm gonna do. We'll see what may. We'll see what happens. Which one is the? This is the progress.
You could move it along the way. Also, it doesn't have to be moved in front of you. It could be moved up here.
Oh, that makes sense. Will it ever come back down? What's the negative of putting it up here?
There isn't really one, I don't think. Other than now, its challenge effects are active on everybody's turn.
Okay, I'll just shift it around and keep doing it until I beat it. Go ahead. It's fine. All right, I'm good. I like the dog.
Okay,
all right,
I think I'm gonna play Infusion Canteen.
Okay.
I don't know.
No book is life, huh?
Well, I consider book is life. Maybe another time.
So it'll cost you one of those.
It cost me 1. Yep, and so I need to pick an aspect, and I just don't know which aspect I need.
If you want to like add progress to a location, it might be good to get more fitness.
That makes sense.
Sure.
That's your low one.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So I put fitness on here. Is that how that works? When you play this gear, you choose an aspect, and then if I exhaust, I gain that matching one.
Gotcha. Okay. So it gives you a free symbol once.
Yes, and it comes in with 3 sips. If you look at the right-hand side of the card, so you got to put a counter with 3 on it. So you have 3.
I gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
So
You're exhausting it to get the symbol? Okay.
yeah,
So 3.
I guess.
You would do that when you actually do a test.
Oh,
Ah.
test. Okay.
Okay.
So then, this is the type that I chose. There we go.
Yep.
And how do we know that he would only do it when he's doing a test?
Because you don't need to use the red token until you're doing a test.
Oh, so it's just kind of there. Gotcha. Okay. And according to his, it takes up 2 slots in his 5, right?
It does.
Okay.
That's my 1.
Okay. So each Rangers take turns.
Yeah, we just keep bouncing back and forth, doing whatever.
Oh, this is still part of the same round. We just go back forth before doing the decide whether to travel third step. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah.
Correct. One thing, when I interacted with this thicket, that wolf was still in front of me. I had to exhaust my roll card to ignore that wolf, and I forgot to exhaust it.
Okay. So the wolf would have been exhausted, or your roll. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Your turn.
I'm going to do the thing that I set up.
I
want to add progress to this feature here, which now has the trail thing. So I'm going to do this fitness traverse test.
Okay.
So just to go through it real quick, the test stuff over here. The first thing is check fatigue. There's nothing in between me and that card.
Okay.
So nothing's going to fatigue me. Now I commit 1 or more energy of the matching type. So I'm going to commit 1 fitness. Plus I'm going to commit my
card. Yeah. Andrew Fisher's in line. Oh wow, you guys drew Caustic Mulcher right off the bat. I'm sorry. Andrew, I want to welcome you to the channel. Welcome. I do this all the time.
This is normal.
It actually, Andrew, it was the first card out of the path deck. So,
all right,
starting strong.
Starting strong. All right, so you've got 4 progress going. Okay.
Yeah, I've got 4 effort right now, and I can do this because I gave this feature the trail keyword with this card.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to draw a challenge deck card.
Okay.
And I'm looking at red, so it's 0.
Okay.
So I'm still at 4 effort, so I succeed. 4 versus 1, I'm successful.
Okay.
So I would put 4 counters on there. In addition to that, this card, when 1 or more progress is added to the attached trail, increased number added by 1, so that would actually make it 5. However, we don't really need 5.
We do. We need 1 more. Yeah.
Ranger. So we're actually kind of lucky because I'm done with my test. I'll show you here why we're lucky in a second. I discard this card that I used for the symbols. I will discard this fitness token.
Right.
Now we're going to start doing the challenge effects from the mountain symbol.
All right.
Look at the weather card. If this test added progress, add 1 additional progress.
Ooh. Puts it at 6.
Puts it at 6.
Done.
So that clears this card.
Okay.
What it means is it gets discarded.
Okay.
Okay.
The obstacle is now out of the way. And then my card
gets discarded. Yeah. Well done, but that's not the only thing.
Okay, so there's no mountains on the location, nothing in the missions. Nobody here has mountain symbols. And we don't have to worry about the one in front of PacMan because only cards in front of me are active.
If there's an active human, exhaust them. What's the double arrow?
It's called like a conditional effect or something like that.
Add progress to them and damage to this feature both equal to their presence. Oh, so if there was one.
Well, we actually don't have to worry about that because it's in front of PacMan, not in front of me, and I'm the one who took the test.
Okay.
So we can, since I'm doing the test, we ignore the card in front of him.
Okay.
Unless I was interacting with the card in front of him, which I was not.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's it. Well done. All right, so
that card is now gone. We could try to traverse the location, but there's a lot of presence.
I cannot. I am not a traverser.
Yeah.
Um,
More than me.
PacMan could go, or you could go. Just I can't go again. My roll card's already exhausted. So I
yeah,
can't go
I
anywhere else.
spend 1 energy to add 1 token to an aid card, so I can help if I need to. But Pac-Man, you go.
I don't even know what to do here. That's the problem.
I think we're at putting progress on this thing. If this wolf that is up in the along the way, if Pac-Man puts progress on this location and he draws a sun symbol,
Yep.
this wolf will activate.
Yeah, everything here. But the other thing,
okay.
if he's going to interact with that, both of these cards are in between him and that location, so he would get fatigued for 5 cards.
So he's got to deal with both of these before attempting it. Okay.
Yes. Plus the Hanging Gardens is also 1.
So it'd be 6.
And it doesn't say friendly
That's brutal.
in front of it.
Okay.
So we try to traverse to add progress to these Hanging Gardens. That's interesting that it's not friendly.
It's neutral.
Yeah, it's probably just neutral. Trees don't care. They don't want to be your friend, and they're just neutral.
You could do a basic test, the connect test, the one with the spirit, to try to add progress to either the caustic mulcher or the wolfhound, the woolhound. Honestly, getting 1 fatigue from the Hanging Gardens in between you and here is not that bad, because there's ways you could soothe it, actually, even from the Hanging Gardens, to get those cards into your deck. The other thing you could try to do is the other basic test, the avoid one, to exhaust one of these up here. The caustic mulcher is a little difficult because it's a 3.
Right.
The woolhound is a 2. So exhausting them would get them out of the way for trying to progress on the location.
Okay, so you would need conflict symbols, though. Do you? Yeah, you do. You have one of them.
I have them.
You have one, yeah.
You do have Moment of Desperation also.
Yeah.
To equal to the number of tokens on the discarded gear.
I mean, I don't really want to
discard. Oh, so it would just be 1 damage for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Set up your engine then.
I mean, I don't even know what my engine is, so we'll just figure it out.
I mean, that could be it would be sacrificing a lot of Pac-Man's cards, but we could get rid of the caustic mulcher with harm. If you put this
the functional replica,
there,
I thought about that, but I am milling my hand. But that's okay.
Choose a ranger's equipped gear. Resolve the chosen gear's effect as if you'd used the token from it and/or exhausted it.
He'd basically be sacrificing it because it would have 3 tokens on it, using one of these moments of desperation to put harm on the caustic mulcher. You'd also have to then sacrifice your Canje.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have enough. Actually, that would only be 5 because you'd have to use 1.
That card that was discarded, was that a path card? No, it's a feature card. Okay.
Well, they're all path cards. This is the path deck.
It'd be close. It'd just be 1 off. That's okay. We could try it. Why not?
The caustic mulcher.
Okay, so I want to. Let's see. I have to play the replica first. I think that's how that works.
All right, so spend 2 focus.
Yep. These are my 2.
Okay.
Okay, and I need a.
Oh,
die.
Yep.
Not 6.
Okay.
So that was just the 1, but I can't exhaust it yet.
Yeah, you can.
Or
you can exhaust it as soon as you play it.
Let's see. How does this work? I need to
choose
resolve the chosen. That's equip gear. Resolve the choosing gear's effect.
He doesn't really need to, though.
No, I don't need exhaust. So I want. How do I? Maybe I'm confused. The moments can be played at any time.
You have to kind of read the card, but this one, you've already played a card from your hand for your turn, so you'd have to wait till next turn to play the moment, to play the moment of desperation. Some cards will say like have a response or something on them.
How do you know? What are the instance cards? Those are moment cards?
They are, but you kind of have to read the text to know when that instant is that you can play it.
Discard one of your equipped gear cards to add damage to a being equal to the number of tokens on the discarded gear.
Yeah, I think this particular one would be playing a card, so that would be the thing you did during your turn, but he already did that this turn. Oops, sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
I hit the wrong button.
So maybe I.
So to me,
I essentially am killing these two cards. That's the idea, right? So I can put damage.
But
harm.
But that's where I'm confused. These are charges.
Yes.
And these are sips.
Yes.
But this says discard tokens.
Those are tokens. These are charge tokens, and those are sip tokens.
Yeah, it's my turn, Matt. We're just kind of talking about. We're trying to understand. Like the verbiage. The verbiage is throwing me. So these charges are considered tokens.
Yeah. So they're given names so that the sentences, like I was telling you earlier, the story of the lines makes sense. Like, because this is a canteen, when you're using it, you're going to take sips from it.
One charge, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this thing is a piece of tech, so when you're using it, it's going to take charges out of the tech.
Okay, so then his next turn, he could use Moment of Desperation to then do 3 harm to something.
Yeah,
Yes.
If we were not using these dice to track it, there would actually be like little tokens on there.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. So let me see what I can do. So I can't put out another dog because it has the unique keyword.
Sorry, maybe I should have changed the moment, but that's okay.
Hey, we got another. The dice are taking the place of putting the actual tokens on the cards. Dice. Yeah. I get it. So,
you could play the dear friend. You have the same options with the common tests. You could try to exhaust maybe the wolfhound or the wolfhound.
Right. Yeah, let's dear friend it. It's an attachment, so I'll spend one. Oh, I only have one. Wait, is 2 out here? Yep. So one of those, my last one, to play dear friend, to search the path deck and discard for a human, and put them into play with the attached. So we'll just draw until we find a human, then shuffle.
Human. Do a buck. A hound.
There we go. Alright, so flip and okay, so we found the human. He comes down to me because he has the down arrow. And he gets this attached to him. And it says response, when this attached human is cleared, move the progress from it to any number of other beings divided as you choose. Okay.
Oh, that's actually cool. We could take progress off of him and move them either to the hound or the mulcher, because those are also...
So he has keyword friendly.
Yep, so he does not block you, so his presence of 2 will not fatigue you if you try to interact with cards that are past him.
Okay, and it looks like if I do a awareness check to harvest, I read an excerpt, and if I clear him, I read an excerpt.
Yeah, so the first thing we have to do is, if you look at the top, he has an entry on the top of his card, so we need to read that entry.
47. Okay.
So this right here is pretty much the crux of the demo, is going around and trying to find these other people in these decks, and they're going to maybe give you something to do.
All right, so it says, hi, Pimpot Chef. Enters play, go to 471. You hear High's shrill whistling long before you see them. It's said that every ranger in the valley has tried to teach High Pimpot a new song to whistle, but none of them have succeeded. Eventually, you spot the stout little gnome of a man intently chopping and mixing vinegary-smelling herbs and vegetables into a large bowl. Good, good, you're here, he says without looking at you. Try this stew. I need to know if I've hit the right balance between pleasant heat and tongue searing. What does it need? Kelpweed? Morning root? You can help High Pimpot by gathering ingredients for the stew, or you can clear him with progress to ask him how to make the stew as good as possible.
Okay, so now if you go back to his card,
That's the harvest.
yeah, the harvest is helping him gather ingredients, basically.
Okay.
You need to get 3 plant cards out of the deck, and
Okay.
they'd be out there on the board. Then you could do that test to attach them to him, or we could clear him with 2 progress per ranger, so we need 6 progress on him. And then if you clear him, his card says if he gets cleared with progress or harm, then we go back to 47.
Otherwise,
and
it's
then
47.4. Yeah.
Back up there, it would say if you cleared him with progress, then read this entry, and something will happen.
Yeah. So because he's friendly, can I use Spirit to connect with him?
Yep, he's a
Okay.
bee. So
Okay.
that's how you add progress to him,
Okay.
is with that common test.
All right. Cool. That's my action. I'm done.
I'm actually going to let you go, PacMan, because we
Okay.
don't have to go in order. So that we
Moment.
can try to get rid of, yeah.
All right. So spend your 1 fitness.
My 1 fitness is gone.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to discard my functional replica, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
All right. So that's 3 charges that were on there.
Yep.
So
And because I discarded 3, I add 3 harm to a being equal to the number of tokens on the discarded gear.
okay.
So I'm assuming...
That's this. Set it to 3. Okay.
Yeah, because I could only do 5 on here. Probably the mulcher, right?
Oh, you put it on the mulcher? Sweet. And this was not a test.
It was not a test. Nope.
No, that was...
Oh, so if you do it again, you get rid of the mulcher.
No, because I'm gonna have to use one of my canteens to get the fitness.
So here's actually where a decision could come into us playing. Now we could decide to just end the round now, so that PacMan could get his red fitness token back.
Mm-hmm.
We would refresh everything. We would be drawing more path cards, but that would let us get rid of the mulcher.
So
I wouldn't have to use a canteen.
are there any other negative side effects other than drawing more path cards when we end the round?
Had an injury, you would have to fatigue your injury level, but none of us have an injury.
Okay, and this wolf will not attack us.
Nope.
Only during tests. Only during tests. Okay. Up to y'all. I'm fine either way. I'd like to get my dog back.
I say we do it just so we can
sure, let's do it.
Have on video recorded on YouTube that the caustic mulcher can be defeated.
All right, so then it says
just have to have the right gear.
So then we go decide whether to travel. We're not traveling.
Well, we actually can't travel because we don't have 9 progress on the local.
Right.
So then draw 1 ranger card, reset energy pools, and ready all cards.
Yep. So we all get to draw a card.
Okay.
Draw 1 card.
Reset energy pools back to their number.
Yep.
And ready all cards.
And ready my.
If you wanna make your life easier on that one, Zach, if you look up in the center of the screen, you'll see a guy lifting weights. If you look to the right of it, there's a number. Change that number to 90. Just click on it, change it to 90.
Thanks.
And then you won't have to keep clicking. It'll just do 90-degree turns.
I just thought that had something to do with exercise, so I ignored it.
So if you come down to your card, your roll card, try to turn it now. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool.
All right. Okay. So we all drew a card. I drew Perceptive. After you succeeded a test in which you committed, this attribute gains 1 awareness. Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you've got Memlev.
Trekking poles.
You got nothing but
Cool.
gear in there. That's pretty cool. So it says when you perform a traverse test, use focus instead of fit. That's
I mean, that's
amazing.
great for me.
Yeah,
That's-
that's amazing. And what'd
I
you
mean, 'cause
get?
you're gonna lose your canteen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and what
I
did
got the Orland hiking staff, whatever. I can exhaust it to add progress to a trail,
Okay.
or I can also use this to add harm to beings, basically
So you
attack. This is
beat him with the stick. Gotcha. All right, cool.
So now we go back to the top of the round,
Yeah.
and each ranger draws a path card. So you start with the lead ranger for this, and then you guys can draw.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go for it. Go for it. Knock yourself out. And we'll take a look as after everybody
Ooh.
draws. Take that to you. That's a down arrow.
Yep.
And I got a down arrow to me too. Okay, so let's take a look from PacMan's side. What'd we get? What'd you get?
Sunberry bramble. It is a feature, flora, and food.
So it's another way to. It's another thing out there that you can do that test to try to soothe some fatigue off of you.
Okay.
But that is a flora, so you could do the test on High Pimpot, his harvest, to move that flora face down under him to go towards the 3 that we would need for that particular part of the story.
Both of them are flora.
Yeah, both are flora.
The Hanging Gardens too.
So that could be helpful. I got the Sitka buck being prey mammal. So 3 harm or 5
neck.
progress. Did I say something wrong? What?
No, I was like, it's a giraffe neck on the back.
Oh. So then some crazy stuff happens.
They are pretty much harmless unless there is another buck that's active, or if there's a doe, if there's a female also active.
A deer?
They get aggressive.
A deer?
A female deer?
A female deer?
Also, since there is prey out here now, like this wool hound, who is a predator, oh no, he's not one that attacks. It might be on the buck. Oh yeah, so on the buck, if we draw a mountain, there's an active predator. The wolfhound will attack the buck, and they will exhaust and get some harm on them.
Okay.
So the environment actually interacts with itself. Also, the cards will interact with each other.
Sorry, as the sun is set on you, there's been some shift on your side.
Green
lighting.
Yeah. All right, turn on the light.
Let me
there we go. Oh my gosh!
Did that blow it out?
Yeah. You are a white splotch.
All right, I'll just turn off the video feed.
No. You can leave it on. It's good. It's good. I'll tweak it. You're fine. And you got a buck as well.
Yes, I did.
All right. So I basically, if you get 2 bucks in your area, you cause them to fight each other.
Yeah, if you draw the sun.
Oh, I see. If there's another active exhaust this being, add 2 damage to both those and the other.
They fight each other.
But the red is bad.
Only if there's a doe. Only if there's a doe out.
Oh, if there is a doe. Okay, so it's getting territorial. Gotcha. That's actually pretty cool. Very thematic. Okay, so let's do the thing.
Okay, so we have to correct one thing here real quick.
What's up?
When PacMan interacted with the mulcher, the Hanging Gardens were in between you.
Is that true, though? Because he didn't do a test.
It doesn't have to be a test. It's interacting with the card, I think.
Because moment cards was just discarding equipment. It's not really...
Yeah.
I thought it was just tests.
Say something about interacting with the card. Andrew, if you're still on, you can maybe clarify that.
And Janet just asked, do you need to lose a cloud on the weather card now as well?
Oh, yeah, sorry, because we did the refresh phase. That would go down to 2.
Okay. All right, thanks, Janet. Yep.
Good catch.
But that's interesting because for me, I understood that stuff happens when you do tests to interact with things. A moment card seems like an instant, so I'm not sure. Let's check the rule book.
It does say most tests. That's tests that require you.
Oh, you have an index. You already are my friend. All right, so page 13. Page 13. Moment cards. Moment cards describe the specific circumstance under which they can be played. In their rules text, when you play a moment card, resolve all instructions on the card and discard it. That does not tell me anything.
Yeah, there's another part that talks about.
What page is that on?
Go to page 20. Fatigue from interacting.
Okay. Fatigue from interacting. When you interact with an environment, things between you and that and the thing with
No, I think you're right. That's test.
Before you perform a test, each ready card, and he didn't do a test.
Yeah, I think we're fine because you didn't do a test.
All right. No, it's a good distinction. So I don't know if Andrew's still in the chat, but it's a good distinction to kind of make sure people know. Okay. So
okay,
blow that guy up, man.
Yeah, kill him. Do it. Kill him.
Oh, so I didn't have to do any. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I will play Moment Desperation again.
Can he chain this? Can he? No.
I'm desperate.
No. Well, question. Can he chain this, Zach? Can he say he's going to exhaust this to spend that red to do that moment?
He could, but then his token would go down to 2, and then he'd only be doing 2 damage.
Oh, gotcha. Andrew
problem.
said, yep, you only get fatigue by stuff between you and the thing when you're testing. Only testing. So thank you, Andrew.
Gotcha.
All right, so yep, okay. Do it.
So yeah, this token goes back over here. So this is gone. Wherever that goes.
Yep.
Bye, Canteen.
And that knocks that to 6.
Heck yeah.
So,
okay, and then so that 6 equals the 6 harm for the card. That clears the mulcher, and he gets discarded.
Not gonna lie, I didn't answer right away because I wanted to watch you find it in the rules for my own uses in future rules organizations.
That's fair.
Where precisely was it in the rule set? Because we didn't see it, which meant. So is there Andrew? Does there need to be something specific that says moments don't count in that side, or is it just like did we miss that when we looked it up? And okay, so you killed that guy.
I think the only thing I would say, Andrew, is that maybe in the index, it should also have page 20 for interact instead of only page 12. Because 20 is where it's explained better than page 12.
Okay.
I think it was page 20, the one where it talks about
it says page 20.
Which areas are in the way when you're trying to interact with stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna be OCD for a second here. Do not turn off your camera. I am going to fix this.
I'm going to turn the light back on or no?
I am going. Yeah, probably. The one behind you. The one behind you. The other one. Not that one. The other one. The one behind you. Yeah, that one. That's perfect. That's
better. Yeah.
That's way perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So, PacMan did his thing. Got rid of that mulcher.
Bye-bye.
Andrew said, nah, it's kind of split between fatiguing and tests. All right, so it is, you want to go next? You want to go next?
Sure. So, let's see. Maybe I should work on putting progress on Lone Tree Station so we can travel.
Well, so you don't get hit by that buck, I think let me go next and take it, move him away from you. I could move that buck into space with me.
So
I'm okay with taking a little bit of fatigue. Because I still have 22 cards in my deck.
Well, you would take 3, not 1.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the hound.
You would take 3. I can pull the hound down, because the hound's going to attack the buck, right?
If we draw the right kind.
If we draw the right card.
Is it a hound?
The wolfhound.
Hund?
Or
The wolfhound. Okay, so I can pull him down, or I can pull that buck over. Which one would you prefer?
And you'd have a lot of stuff in front of you, but if I have the good traversing setup.
Okay, do your thing. Do your thing.
No, what I was going to say is, since I have the good traversing setup, if you want to get that wolfhound out of the way,
It'd be
I'm
better.
fine with taking the fatigue from the buck, interacting with.
Okay, all right, so I'll go next then. Because that's a free action to exhaust my pet to do this. And I could soothe fatigue with him too.
Yeah, so what else do you have? You could, you could try to exhaust the buck that's in front of you, or you could interact with high.
Well, I honestly wanna roll the dice on this and pull. I want to pull the wolf down and then interact with. What's my awareness? Oh, my awareness is garbage. After you succeed at a test in which you committed this attribute, gain 1. My awareness. I don't have anything that my awareness tests are going to be hot trash.
You could also, if you wanted to, you could remember your training, which would be allowing you to scout your ranger deck and draw a card. That's still performing a test, so you're still going to be drawing a card off the
yeah
deck.
I want to pull either that buck over or the wolf down, so that when I do the test, it will interact between the buck and that wolf. They will interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I was considering pulling the buck that you have over, so that luck be never on my side, that I draw the sun and they hit each other. Which I have the potential of getting rid of 2 cards, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But that leaves you having to deal with that wolf, and you said you need me to get rid of it, so that only makes sense. I'll pull the wolf down to me. And it says move a being and add 2 progress to it. So I'm going to do that, and he will go to 4.
Which actually helps. It's 4 out of the 6 that we need to totally get rid of.
And then I'm going to try to soothe. I'm going to do spirit with. I'm going to try to connect. Sorry. With the buck. Oh boy.
If you're trying to get it to exhaust, unless you want to put progress on it.
Oh, what's the exhaust then?
You don't. If you want the challenge effects to go off, you don't want it to exhaust. Is actually what I meant to say.
Oh, okay, right. So I want to spirit this wolf, and I think I can make it work. What's the order of operation? Let's say I spirit this wolf, and everything works out fine and dandy. Does this?
If you get 2 more progress on it, he's going to clear before the challenge effects happen.
So should I do it to the buck then?
If you want to do that, you could do that, or you could do it to high if you want to try to connect with him.
The problem is I'm looking at the effort that's needed. 2 versus 1 gives me a little bit more. I'm not overflowing with ability here.
But you also do have a ton of hearts in your deck.
Yeah. I'm thinking of committing throwing the other dog at it. So it would be, I would probably do 2 spirit chips and a puppy to make sure that it's guaranteed. Ugh. Let's try it. So we're gonna test. 1, 2, and throwing a dog in.
Which one are you doing?
We're doing this one.
Okay. So you're sitting at 3 effort.
Yep. So I'm sitting at 3 on 1. So let's pull. See what we're dealing with. This is spirit -1, so 2.
Yep,
So
and then the common test says add progress equal to your effort. So you got 2 progress.
Okay. All right. So progress. I got 2 on here. And then I got the symbol here. If tests added progress, add an additional progress.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to 3. Nothing here. Then I look down at the bottom, and we've got one here that says, if there is an active predator, exhaust it. Add 2 damage to it, and then add 1 damage to this being equal to the predator's presence.
Right. So
this
walk through all those steps.
All right. So that means first, if there's an active predator, exhaust it.
Yep.
Add 2 damage to it, so there will be 2 damage on the predator. So they kind of attacked each other here.
Yeah, the buck's horns. What are they called?
And then add 1 damage to this being equal to add damage. Sorry, I keep saying 1. Then add damage to this being equal to that predator's presence, which is 2. So it's a 2-on-2 scenario.
Yep.
Not a bad turn.
You got what you wanted. The mountain was like the exact.
Not a bad turn whatsoever. That was pretty decent. That's my turn. And we'll throw this away. So not a bad turn. Okay. And I really enjoyed how that changed just now. So I was my first concern was we're only playing 1 card, so things might stagnate. But I just saw a chain happen, so it's okay. All right, Zach, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to try to get progress onto Lone Tree so we can move.
Okay.
Yeah. Good idea.
I said I was okay with taking fatigue, but there's no reason not to use
my
roll. So I'm dodging this buck who's in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try to get as much on there as possible. So I'm going to spend all 3 of my tokens.
Okay.
And
all you got is determined, right?
Yeah, and this one's kind of a special card. The number of symbols on this card is equal to the fitness in my energy pool, which actually right now is 0, so that doesn't help me.
Okay.
That would be a good compass card or exploration card if you had a different test that used exploration.
So then you're just doing 3, right?
Yep.
Okay, what's your card?
-1, so it's 2.
Yeah.
But here again, we have the... oops.
Our location's gone.
I tried to change the die to a 2, and it took the card.
All right.
We have the mountain symbol, and with our perfect day, it adds another progress.
Yeah, and then you got something down here going.
If
nothing.
Predator,
nothing.
There is no active predator here or in front of me, so that's it.
Okay, cool. So we've all gone. So now we keep going.
Yeah, we can go in any order. Like you could go, then PacMan could go, then you could go, then PacMan could go, and then I could go.
Mm-hmm.
Just not 2 times in a row.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
Thing. So we have choices.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I'm gonna do them trekking poles.
Okay.
They sound like a good idea. So that costs 2. 1, 2. That's all I got.
Put your charge on there. It'll be the bottom one, all purpose.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
The idea is that I can use focus instead of fitness because I don't have any more fitness.
All right, let me see what I can do here. Is the location a feature?
I believe it says
No, it's not forest.
Yeah.
So that card is useless. I could do healing touch. Ooh, yeah. If I do healing touch, I can get rid of one of these 2.
Oh yeah, because you can take a harm off of it to add more progress.
Yeah. So I think it should be on the one that I clear. So I think it's gonna be.
You could clear either of them.
Yeah.
With 3 more progress.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the Bleh.
So one thing to think about, like
The
as a
buck.
like overall game concept, is the wolfhound is a predator, and we have one of our friendly guys in high out on the board. If he was active, if that predator was active, and we drew the red shield on a challenge, he would harm high based
Um,
on this red
and
thing on
that's
high.
that's a problem. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and remember what I said at the beginning. If
mhm.
any of our friendly human people are removed because of harm, then the day ends because we have to take care of them.
then
Yeah.
that does the decision for me. Let's play Healing Touch. For
Yeah.
my last
In
spirit
addition to
token.
that adds value to your Calming Presence card
Mm-hmm.
because you could attach that to the Wolfhound, and he loses that predator keyword, so he no longer would be a threat to high.
Yeah, he's dead now. So we did the progress on him, so he's done.
Yeah.
Alright, and that was me playing Healing Touch, not doing a test. Okay.
Right. You did play a card. Yeah.
Yep, so that is my turn. So we're back to rounds.
Whoever wants to go next.
So, how do I play these? I forget now. How do I play these floras onto High Pimpot?
So you would be doing the test that's on High's card. There's a
Okay.
harvest test on his card.
Yep. So awareness was.
If you're going to be interacting with him, though, these cards that are in front of you
Mm-hmm.
are in between you and Derek.
So you'll take two. You'll take 2 fatigue.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But not necessarily the end of the world. You're not going to go through the entire game without taking fatigue. It's just not
Yeah,
gonna
so you've got 23 cards, so you could do that. If you pass, you'll take 2 fatigue, but you'll get one of them under his card, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea to do.
Yeah, and that
And
symbol...
It's a difficulty of 2.
let me see that symbol. That symbol is called Reason. Reason with the plants! What's your awareness? 2?
My awareness is 2.
So you just need to get 2 more to be able to beat him. To be able to beat it.
To be guaranteed. Now, you do have this inventive card
Mm-hmm.
where the... you just said the name of that symbol.
Focus. Oh, where reason?
Reason, yeah. So the number of reason symbols on this card would be equal to the focus in your energy pool, which right now is 1. So you could get 1 reason symbol off of that card if you wanted to.
So he would have to do both awareness and that card to be able to make sure that it's a guarantee.
It still wouldn't be guaranteed because it would be 3 versus 2.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking at the floor. I wasn't looking at the chef. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Up to you.
YOLO.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it.
So after you identify what test you're going to do, the first thing you would do is take your fatigue from the cards in the way.
Okay. So take 2 and put them over here.
Yeah.
So I just take 2 of my deck.
Yeah, from the top of your deck.
That's the whole deck.
Whoa.
Forgot I changed that to 90.
Alright. And then spend the 2.
Spend the 2.
And the 1. And now it's at 3. So go ahead and pull this card up here.
And you're looking at the green number.
Yep. Flip it. 0. There you go.
Yeah.
So you
It
pass.
worked.
So you can take one of these flora and
Throw it under him.
Which one would we prefer? Probably the bigger number.
so the Hanging Gardens is actually easier to do the test on it if you want to use that to soothe some fatigue. Although you just spent all your awareness for this turn.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
I'd probably say the Sunberry Bramble would be a good one.
Sure, why not?
And throw that under his card, yeah. Whoa, where'd you throw it?
I just made a weird
Oh,
noise.
gotcha. Alright, so there you go. So that's his turn. This would go to this.
We got to look at the challenge effect.
That's right. So you've got the red in your area. It'll affect in my area too, right?
Yes, because he did interact with a card in front of you.
Okay,
Sorry.
That's okay. Nothing happens. So nothing up top. Oh, actually, no. Something will happen. So nothing up top, And then in my area, for him, if there's an active predator, there is not.
Nope.
If there's an active doe where there is not, so I'm fine.
Nope. You're good.
All right, cool.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay.
Not
So
bad at all.
he did his. What do you got?
I might actually. Well, let's do something else interesting. Or maybe I should try to exhaust this buck in front of me. No, that's also awareness. Actually, you know what? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remember my training, which is trying to draw cards.
Okay.
So I'm just committing 1 blue. I don't have any reason to add to it. If there's no difficulty listed, like here where it just says remember, then it's 1. It's always a minimum of 1 difficulty.
Okay, so you're a 1-on-1 right now, basically.
Yep, I'm taking a shot in the dark here.
Do it.
That I draw a 0 or a +1.
Do it. +1.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so what this says is I get to scout ranger cards equal to my
first,
effort.
would you take the fatigue?
I did not interact with anything past me. I'm just doing a common test.
So common tests do well, from how it was explained, any test causes problems. So do common tests omitted?
If you're doing a test in an area that's beyond where that card is.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not interacting with anything beyond that card.
Okay. All right.
So I get to scout ranger cards equal to my effort, which my effort ended up being 2 because of the +1.
Mm-hmm.
So scouting is drawing cards equal to that, and I get to look at them. Let me play this. You can use this to... Oh, I attach a moment for my discard. When you traverse, I can dodge up to 3 cards. So
that's cool.
That's nice.
I'm going to gamble, though. I don't want either of these cards. So I'm going to put them on the bottom of my deck.
Okay.
In that order. And then the rest of the Remember the Training test says, then draw 1 card.
Okay.
So I could have put those back in any order on the top or bottom.
Basically gain the top card and then, or put it at the bottom. Walk with me.
You succeed a traverse test. Add progress to a being equal to my effort. Cool. This is in addition to the test's standard effect. That's cool.
That's very cool. Okay.
My deck is like built around traversing. So.
All right. So for me,
then we would actually have to do the sun.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry.
Nothing here. Nothing here. And this one says,
Here comes the sun.
If there's another buck, there's not another buck. We also have
reshuffle.
Reshuffle here. So I'll do that while you guys look at your stuff.
Yeah, I think you and PacMan went, so I think it's on me.
Yep. But we can go in any order. So PacMan could go if we wanted him to.
No, he's already gone. I thought you said...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no all of us have to go equally. It's just...
So he can take like 5 turns before I go?
No, you can't go twice in a row unless you want to exhaust your roll card.
Okay.
But we can go in any order besides that.
Gotcha.
Move all progress from a being to a feature. There's no features in play. I think I'm done.
If you wanted to, you could remember your training to get some more cards.
I could remember my training.
Yeah.
I
definitely want to do that.
Go ahead.
I'm going to remember my training.
Which is focus.
Yep, 1.
So pull your card, test it out. So 1-on-1. +1. Hey. So that's
I get
2. Yep.
So I draw 2. What do we got? More book.
And your infusion canteen.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. I probably want that one back. So I'm going to keep that one.
Okay. So put it on top. Are you putting the other one back on top or at the bottom?
What does this one say? Let's see. Exhaust. Nah. Bottom.
Okay. And then that card, if you're putting it on top, it basically goes to your hand.
Yep.
Okay. I will. I don't want to fatigue cards.
You have a way to get fatigue cards back into your dog. There's a test on your dog. The fitness test.
Which would still fatigue if I fitness test, right? Oh, no, because it doesn't leave the area, you're right. But I would fatigue 3 cards, correct?
No.
Check mountain. Check mountain 2, PacMan. Is there any mountain on your... There is. If there is an active human, there isn't. So you're fine. But up here, there's a mountain that says if this test added, and it didn't. So
It did not.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Janet. I don't know if I'm cool with losing 3.
You wouldn't fatigue by interacting with your dog because they're not in between you and your dog.
That's right, and I wouldn't fatigue to do remember my training. So let's do that.
Right now, yeah, they wouldn't for the
So y'all 2 have been lucky, but I'm probably not gonna be. You know what? I'm gonna do 2. So 2 on 1.
Yeah, and the more effort you put, the more cards you can potentially see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the effort I can do. So 2 on 1. Plus 1, 3.
Mm-hmm.
You get to scout 3 cards.
That makes me happy. Alright. Flip. I'm passionate about it. After you succeed at a test in which you committed this attribute, you may suffer 1 fatigue to add it back to your hand. Or follow in footsteps. After you succeed at a connect test, add progress to a feature equal to your effort. This is an addition to the test standard effect. Ooh, that I want. That I would like a lot of. These 2, I'm going to put at the bottom. I'm not there yet. This one I'll put at top and take that into my hand. Alright.
You got a mountain.
And I have mountain to deal with. So first up here, nope, there was no progress. This card's underneath, so I don't have to look at that. This says if there's an active predator, so that's ignored. Okay.
All right, I want to see if we can find another human in this deck. So I'm actually going to do this awareness test that's on Lone Tree Station.
Okay, awareness plus...
The buck is going to be in the way, so I'm going to fatigue a card.
Okay.
Put it on my fatigue stack. And I'm going to commit both of my awareness tokens.
Okay.
I don't think I want to commit my little heart symbol on either of these cards. Discarding number of progress from a trail. There are no trails, actually. You know what? I am going to do it. So we're just playing a demo here. I've got an effort of 3 versus 1 on the green. Minus 1,
so 2.
It's 2. So what this says is I get to scout path cards equal to my effort, so I get to scout 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find a human in here, so I know I'm going to... Well, this is actually interesting. This is another Flora card.
It is.
So if I actually draw this one, there's another card out there to add to...
To high, yeah. Which could be helpful.
You guys want to do that, or you want to try to find another human in here?
Up to you.
Yeah.
Let's go for another human just so we can see more story.
Sure.
So I'm going to put both of these back on the bottom.
Okay.
And then I'll be blind from the path deck.
And then you do mountain for what's going on. So we'll skip the perfect day. Oh, then there you go.
And just
all right, so we got Spirit Seeker Null. She comes in front of me.
Friendly.
And we go to entry 45.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, Spirit Seeker Null enters play if you don't have either the accommodation or intervention mission. We go there. If you spoke with a spirit, no. Otherwise, go to 45.3. You come across Null, the Spirit Seeker of Lone Tree Station, sitting cross-legged before what looks like a floating disk of water. Her eyes are closed. You assume it's best not to interrupt whatever she's doing and wait quietly for a few minutes. The spirit speakers of the valley are the most adept at communicating with the world beyond the visible. spirits great and small as well as those of the ancestors. Null's gifts are greater still. For with the help of a device crafted by Binamon, she is able to communicate over great distances, projecting the images and emotions into the minds of rangers in the field. After several minutes, she opens her eyes and speaks. The spirit of the valley was eager to tell me that you were coming, she says. She turns to you and smiles warmly. How can I help? If you need me to send a message, I may not be able to at the moment. The spirit of the Verdessa, the great jungle to the south, has gone silent. I don't know why. I feel like I need to get to the bottom of it before I do anything else. I'll be too distracted otherwise. Something's wrong. So you have to clear Null with progress to ask how you can help.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then you got your mountain.
Yes. So we did not add any progress, so we don't have to worry about the weather card.
And there is no predator.
Predator, no.
So you're fine. I might be done.
I'm tapped.
Yeah, I might be done.
Pretty tapped.
What can I do with my awareness? I can exhaust one being. Nah, I'm good.
You still have fitness.
I mean, that's but I'm not trying to. I mean, we could. Sure, why not? Why not?
So you could. Let's see.
Because I'll take 3 fatigue if I do it.
No, Nye's friendly. Or high. I'm sorry, high is friendly.
Okay. And
so he doesn't fatigue you.
And what about the buck?
The buck will fatigue you for 1.
Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to traverse. I'm gonna put 2 in. I'm gonna put that bad boy in. And I think that's all I could do. So 3.
Yep.
So it is a 3 on 1.
Yep.
Now, first I'm gonna get fatigue, so let me take care of that. Then let's test it out. What is this
0.
one? Fitness
Spread.
0, so it's 3. So I put 3 on there, correct?
Yep.
So we're at 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 more.
All right, and then we do reds. So you, sir, if there's an active predator, nope. You, if there's an active doe, nope. So throw that back up there.
Cool.
All right. Job's done.
I'm done. I don't know. I can't do anything.
I think I got 1 awareness left, which I can use to try to exhaust the being, but what's the point? So I'm good.
Okay, I think I'm going to try to get some progress on Null real quick. So I'm going to do 2. So I'm doing the connect test, the common test.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using 2 spirit. I'm not going to add any heart.
So it's a 2 on what? 2 on 2?
Yeah, I'm throwing a Hail Mary probably. Because this one has no fail. There's no fail condition. Nothing bad happens if I fail this. Oh, but I didn't fail. So I don't want
You put the whole bag on her.
Let's get a whole bag's worth of progress.
All right. Cool.
And the crest. If there's an active predator, no.
And what about her? Oh, both of those are predators. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're all done.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna rest, and you guys are all resting.
So we're draw 1 ranger card and then reset, right?
Yep.
Okay. Draw a ranger card.
What'd I get? Oh, different color.
Reset. And ready. All right, what did I get? Another perceptive. You got thorough. Okay, and you got another walk with. Oh, Eagle Eye.
Scout 3 path cards, then draw a path card.
Okay, and then we begin the we draw from the deck.
Yeah, and we have to tick down the perfect day
And
weather.
tick down perfect day, and then you draw. You got to go first, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Almost not April 25th.
All right. Are you grabbing something, or PacMan? You got to grab.
I do. I thought I was waiting.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I did draw a doe. So now I do have a doe and a buck in my area.
This is up here. We've got another obstacle that just dropped.
Boy.
But it is flora. So we can put it under ya boy.
Oh, this goes up. My bad.
You drew a doe, so that gets dangerous. And this is topside mast feature. If the weather is inclement, you cannot interact with this feature.
It's not, but this one also has a story entry, entry 40.
So
42.
that is you, good sir. There you go. There you go.
Topside mast.
What's that
Intersplay. Go to 42.1. Okay, 42.1.
It's right here.
High atop Lone Tree Station, you'll find a series of circular platforms of polished wood and forged carbon. During your training, on clear, windless days, these platforms served as a refuge. You would often spend your free time in the afternoons bathing there in the sun, sitting in quiet contemplation. Wow, I don't know why I have such a hard time.
But what I do.
Oh, I know. Well, I can give you crap.
That's fair. That's fair.
And looking out over the mirrored surface of White Sky Lake. You also look wistfully at the airship known as the Swift, its hull gleaming in the sun, as Ben Amon would climb aboard and launch it into the air. The legs of the vehicle... Wait, it has legs? Interesting. Okay. The legs of the vehicle would compress and then extend with a sudden movement, propelling it upwards with tremendous force.
Landing gear.
That makes sense. Then, once it reaches its apex, its wings would unfurl and the glider would soundlessly soar towards the horizon, steadily descending as it flew towards its destination. Calypsa told you and the other initiates that am I saying that right? That it would prone to roll and crash in inclement weather. And if you flew it at any great distance, its energy cells would drain, and the Swift would grow inert, unable to launch for days before the cells recharged. All of this was clearly meant to dissuade you from taking the Swift out on your own. But when you look at the airship, you can't help but feel a surge of excitement. To soar high above the valley would surely be exhilarating, if not a little terrifying. Now you're a full-fledged ranger. Perhaps you can convince the crew to take you for a ride. Clear topside mast with progress to take the Swift for a ride.
I don't think that's progress.
This one is actually a ranger.
Not progress.
Yep.
Clear topside
So we haven't
mast
talked
with
about ranger tokens yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have to look at the card.
Where is it? Ah, here it is. Okay.
So if you look at the test that's on this card.
Convince.
Yeah, and it's a 3, so it's pretty high. So you convince the Swift's crew of the urgency of your mission to move your ranger token to this feature.
Oh, when you do, you clear it. Yep, I see that.
So what that means is that all of our ranger tokens have to be here in order to clear it.
All of them?
However, once... So let's say I did it and I passed, and my ranger token is here on this card.
Mm-hmm.
That's now 1 effort for anybody else who does a test on this card.
Oh, okay.
So then if Derek moves his ranger token there by passing that test, now when PacMan does it, he has a +2 when he does the test.
Okay, so it increases per... my suggestion would be, like, why did we do the ranger count on this one and not on this one? It makes sense. It makes sense. I understand why. Never mind. I understand why. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. I drew something that is up here. I drew the overgrown thicket, but it is flora. So there's the potential to do Him's test to get rid of that without having to do progress on it.
Yes, it is an obstacle, so we cannot travel while that's out on the board.
Yeah, and you got the doe.
Yeah, the deer.
I love the thing on it. Shoo! Get it out of here. All right, so Who's going first? If you're gonna shoo it away, I can just have my dog get rid of this buck, so it can be on me, and that's fine. That's if you're gonna shoo it away to avoid damage. I'm assuming you, Pac-Man, want to get this hanging garden under.
I mean, I kind of want to get my fatigues back, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do that too. You could do Porque no los dos. I mean, you could do both of them.
True.
They are both awareness tests. So the test on high is awareness, as well as the one to soothe fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
I can do. After you succeed at a test in which you committed this attribute, gain 1 awareness. Oh, wait, I didn't gain my 1 awareness for last time. I should have done that.
But it would go away when you refresh, though.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You
Okay.
reset your energy, you reset it to the levels on your aspect.
Oh, I wish I would have taken note of that. That was a wasted thing. Okay.
I will.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'm looking at.
If you're gonna go, I'll say let me go first to get rid of this. So if you're gonna shoo this thing, I can take it.
I'm playing Infusion Canteen.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. Let me do this then to knock this out. So I'm going to exhaust the exhaust the dog. So I'm going to exhaust the puppy. To add 2 progress, to move this being and add 2 progress to it, which will basically get rid of it. And then I will play a card.
Or you could do a test.
Or I could do a test. Oh, he won't mess with me. Yep, I'm gonna do the traverse. I forgot he won't mess with me. So we're gonna do the traverse. Let's do this and this, so I could get an awareness if it's possible. So I'm at 3 on 1, correct?
You're going against the thicket.
Oh crap!
It's still a 1.
No, I don't want to waste that.
We have to get rid of it.
I know it's an awareness test. It's an awareness test, so I can't. Sorry, I was going against location.
You can do the traverse to add progress to a feature.
I would prefer. I'll do the awareness test. What's the awareness symbol? What's the awareness? What's the symbol on there that I could do it with? Oh, yeah.
3.
Yeah, so I'll do the awareness test. So I'm gonna do the awareness test to actually add it here. Here, it's a 2 on 2. Spend 1 energy to add 1 token to an aid card. Can I do that with my Voice of the Elder to make it a 3?
No. Aid cards are kind of like equipment, I think.
I don't think I have equipment. Well, I haven't seen any, let me say that.
Probably haven't seen one yet, yeah. So wait, which test are you doing?
I'm gonna try to grab that thicket and throw it underneath high.
Okay, so that would be the reason symbol, not the exploration symbol.
Oh. I don't know how to play this game. Well, darn, I can't even do that. I'm gonna do a remember.
Okay, that's good. Get some cards in your hand.
Yeah, let's do 2 on that one. So I'll do 2, so it's a 2 on 1. -1. So we got it.
So you still pass. So you get to scout a card and then decide what you want to do.
1 card, right?
Yep.
Oh, dear friend.
Ooh, I could get another friend into play. I think I'm going to take that. Let's get some friends out. And it's sunny day. Nothing to really play for the sunny day, so I'm done. All right, go ahead. If you're going to shoo him. Or whatever you're going to do.
I might just take the fatigue because this is a good time. No, that's the reason symbol. I don't. Oh, I do have one. I'm actually going to interact with high.
Yeah. Are you going to try to move something under him?
Yeah, this thicket.
Okay, so you're going to take what?
I'm going to take 2 fatigue because she's friendly.
a friend, yeah. Go ahead.
One,
Okay.
2. And I'm going to commit both of my awareness tokens.
Okay, so it's a...
And this insightful card.
So it's a... Can you commit that one?
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. All right, so it's a 3 on 2.
3 against 2, yeah. And we're looking at the green.
-1, there you go.
2 to 2.
So,
yep, so throw that under there.
All right. So that's two of those done. One more to go.
And I have sun symbols. Nothing, 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 but we do have... There's not another active Sitka buck.
Okay.
If there are 1 or more Sitka bucks in play, they are drawn to the doe. Move each Sitka buck within reach.
Well, that's the only one. Yeah.
And okay, so that actually would have pulled that one from you over to me.
Which would have been bad. Yeah. Okay. All right. PacMan, are you able to get... Oh, you said you want your cards back. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I can get that under, but I don't need... We have 3 cards, right?
We
have 2. We need 1 more.
Oh, I thought there was 3. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so can I not do both, or...
You can only do one thing.
I know, but can I do that and then do it again, or no?
Yeah, you could do this test first because you have tokens here on your infusion
Right.
canteen.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna do the awareness. Eat.
Okay, so what are you committing?
So I commit. What am I against? I need to...
1.
It doesn't have a number, so it's just a 1.
Just a 1. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I could just do 2 tokens if I want to.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing with the canteen is it's 1 at a time.
Right. Yeah, let's be risky.
All right.
2 tokens.
All right, go ahead and pull.
It's been working so far.
Yeah. Challenge deck pull. 3.
Yeah. That's a winner.
So what do you get?
So add 1 to this feature, 1 harm to this feature. That's not what I wanted. There we go.
Okay.
I add...
So 3 fatigue.
3 soothe 3. Yeah, and heal 1 injury, which I don't have. So these just go back to the top of my deck.
No, you get them in your hand. They go in your hand.
Oh, my hand. Ooh.
Yep. Soothing fatigue is good.
That's nice. That's real nice.
Okay.
I get my functional replica back.
And then you'll heal 1 injury, but you don't have any.
Nope,
Right.
don't have any.
Okay.
So that's it for me.
All right.
So someone else has to go, and then I can go again.
I don't know what to do. What do you got? What do you got planned?
I'll go. I'm gonna try to connect with maybe Null again.
Since it's in your same zone, these 2 won't mess with you, right?
If I connected with her, that's true. You know what? Actually, I'm going to risk it because I might get a combo here. So I'm going to try to put more progress on Lone Tree Station. It's going to fatigue me. The topside mast has a presence of 0, so that one doesn't fatigue me.
Right. So you'll
and
fatigue.
The buck and the doe will fatigue me for 2.
Okay.
The only question on my challenge card was this red. I don't have any red, but I forgot what the...
Reshuffle.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Okay.
So this goes here. Yep.
And I'm going to commit all 3 of my fitness tokens.
And what were you doing? Traversing?
Yeah, I'm going to traverse on the main location.
Okay, so it's 3 on 1.
Yeah. You know what I
Okay.
should do actually is I'm going to exhaust my roll card so that I can dodge one of those cards.
Okay.
I'll dodge like the doe. It doesn't really matter which one.
Sure.
Dodging one from one. Okay,
Sure.
so it's 3.
Yep.
Setting at 3. Plus 1 is 4.
All right.
So
Uh,
that looks like that does that.
yes, so we are able to travel when we want now, since we have more than enough progress.
All right,
here.
you got some sun. You got some sun to do.
And these are the ones where there's not another buck and there are no other bucks. So
Okay. And then
We're gonna-
reshuffle. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so hang on real quick though. I have here walk with me, which has a response on it, which I have to play 1 spirit token to play the card.
Mhm.
After you succeed a traverse test, add progress to a being equal to your effort.
So you have
Is that-
4.
Standard. So what I'm going to do is there any other being that we want progress on?
Nope.
I could put it on null to take her to 6,
Yeah.
or I
That's
could just
really
get rid of one of these. I could get rid of this doe.
Up to you.
Whichever.
Let's see if we can advance her story a little bit.
Okay.
So earlier when you were talking about is there a way to combo cards?
Response
for
is
this
the way.
particular turn, I got to do a test and play a card because of the wording on this response card.
Okay. Okay, this one, following footsteps, is my response.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
I'm gonna go again then.
Okay, go for it.
Well, I need more awareness, so I'm going to take this down to 2. When I just exhaust it, right?
Yep.
We boop.
You're gonna gain 1 energy. It goes on the card, right?
No, that's just to tell me which one I
Oh,
decided.
gotcha. Okay.
It's just a reminder token. That's all.
Okay, so this is your first one on there. All right, gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
That's not his turn though.
Oh, that's right. That's not your turn. So go ahead.
Oh, that's not my turn.
Nope, that was the exhaust free action.
Oh, okay.
So you can play a card from your hand or do a test or something.
Can I exhaust to ready my tech again with my masterful engineer?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly clear on the rules for this. I don't know if because this doesn't say energy token. I think what you're doing is if you wanted to do an awareness test, you exhaust the canteen to get 1 green energy towards a test that you're doing. Because there's a different card that we had earlier. I think Kanje's card said that he got a token. Or no, gain 1 awareness. Yeah, it's 1.
His, though, seems to be that he says gain 1 energy matching the chosen aspect. So it doesn't seem like it's towards a test, though.
No, but the energy, when you're doing a test, you commit energy. And that's like by playing tokens or getting the symbols.
The verbiage is weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
not how I read it.
this infusion canteen just basically says he will always once he's able to exhaust it for his test, he can get +1 to awareness.
When he's doing a green test.
Okay, so he doesn't get a free awareness. Okay, that's verbiage weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
Already.
Okay. So no, you can keep it that way. That's fine.
Oh, you're about to do something. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna try to move the garden under.
Okay, so that's an awareness test 2, and if you have any of those triangle-y symbols.
I do, but I can't play this green card even though it says 2 awareness on it.
It doesn't have 2. No. Nope.
That part right there is deck building.
Oh, deck building. Okay.
Yeah.
Wamp.
You have 1 reason on this stone in the river card.
Yeah, it'd be
That's about it.
2-on-2.
So it'd be a 2-on-2.
That's what I gotta do.
Let it ride. So pull a card.
Let's see if I get my first failure.
+1. Look at that. Very nice.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
So that puts 3 under him. It says if there are 3 flora attached to high, he prepares his famous stew. Go to 47-4.
Well, do you do that now?
Yeah, because you passed the test. You passed the test. Yeah.
Okay.
Part of the test.
So it's 47-4, right? If you're at if you're not at Lone Tree Station, read that. But we are, so there you go. That's
47-4.
That's for you to read.
Okay. High Pimpot starts dicing, mashing, crushing, and even sautéing the various ingredients you found, including a couple of plants you're fairly sure your ranger training told you were only used for silt horse food. That's not good. All of it goes into his large pot, which he sets to boiling with the biggest soul coil you've ever seen. After an hour, he emerges from his kitchen with a platter of wooden bowls, each steaming with a fragrant aroma. He passes one to each of you. You taste it gingerly, and then start taking bigger and bigger spoonfuls. The soup is amazing, fresh and light, but also hearty and filling all at once. You clamber for seconds as you heap effusive praise on the master chef. High nods and smiles, but he seems distracted. Thank you, he says. But he thinks for a while, some of these ingredients just aren't as fresh as they could be. The gloom caps, for example, I can tell that they were in your pack for at least 5 hours. And the moss cherries, his eyes brighten. Imagine how good it would be if I traveled with you. And I cooked in the field with herbs and spices picked right off the stem. Discard each flora attached to high. Each ranger sues for fatigue.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so he's sticking around with us, looks like. And that's gonna be on him. When an attached human is cleared, he wasn't cleared.
No, he wasn't cleared. Yeah.
So we're good. Okay, so
now, because I interacted with him on red, his red thing, but it doesn't do anything because it's not an active predator.
You get some cards in your hand. 4 of them, right?
Yep.
You can just push 4,
Oh.
Oh, there you go. All right, so I got mine. I got engaging.
I got nothing.
It's equal to the number of spirit in your energy pool. That would be cool.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I just remember I just fatigued.
Yeah, engaging is good. Ooh, I could connect with one of these things bothering Zach and see if I could get rid of him.
So there's obviously more to High story if we actually clear him with progress.
Gotcha.
But it's good to know, now that we know during the game, if we ever come across High again, if we have a bunch of fatigue, we can put 4 under him and get fatigue out of it.
Get 4 fatigue out of there, so that's a good way to mill that fatigue stack. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so I think I will go next. And I'm going to try to soothe. Add fatigue number to your effort. I'm going to try to soothe this one's the one that can hurt you. So I'm going to try to soothe that one.
Yeah, I think if you interact with cards in front of me, the buck and the doe might fatigue you.
Oh, will they?
Let me go to the C.
Because I'm interacting with the buck.
Hang on one second. This is on page 20 if you want to look at it.
Yep. Page 20.
Before you perform a test, each ready card between you and the farthest card with which you're interacting fatigues you. Which ready cards are between you depends on the area in which it sits. So if the card is within reach of another ranger, all cards within reach of you are between you. No, okay, so it would be cards in front of you, not cards in front of me.
Right, that's how I've been doing it. But since this is friendly, he wouldn't mess with me.
Yep, that's right.
So I'm gonna go for this buck. That's a 5. Actually, I'm gonna go for the doe. The doe is probably a better one to do. I'm gonna go for the doe. So, I am going to do 1, and then throw this in for 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number of spirit I have. I don't actually. I don't have to do any. I could just make that 3.
No, you always have to commit a token.
Oh, okay, okay. So that is 3 total. So it's a 3 on 1, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. 0. So that's 3 on there.
Yep.
So there would be 3 progress on this one. And then we got the red. So active predator, no. Then yours will activate on me, right?
Yes.
So if there's a doe, which there is, I will suffer 1 injury. If there's an active predator, which there isn't, so I'm gonna take 1 injury. Where is the injury dude?
Take a red die and just put a 1 on you.
On me, okay.
So when you take an injury, if you had anything in your fatigue stack, they would all get moved to your discard stack. But fortunately, you don't.
Okay.
And additionally, now when you rest at the end of the round, you'll take 1 fatigue from that injury on you.
Okay. All right. So there we go. And that be that. So almost had it.
So here's a question for you guys. Do we want to try to finish with Null, like get more progress on her, or do we all just want to rest and move somewhere else because we have enough progress on
What happens when we move? Do these things clear?
Yes. So anything that doesn't have the keyword persistent on it, they will all go away.
Oh, even cards in your equipped gear area.
Nope. Just the stuff within reach along the way and in the surroundings.
Let's go.
Gotcha.
Your gear stays.
Yeah, let's go.
Bye, hi.
So just for like the way this would functionally work in the game is we would each choose to rest. And then when you rest, Derek, because you have the injury, you have to fatigue 1 card.
Okay. Boop. Done.
And then since we've all chosen to rest, that's when we get to step 3. Decide whether to travel, and we have enough progress on Lone Tree Station, we can say, yes, we're going to travel.
Okay,
Yep.
So then we come up to the map and determine where we're going to go.
Yeah, so let's go to the rule book.
Oh, the lag.
Yeah, I'm lagging too. Bad.
I'm trying to load those images.
I don't know what
synchronous.
I think it's when you switch the rule book is when the load happened. So it's fine.
14. How did you go to a specific page in the rules?
Right click, pages is the first option. Hover over that and pick the page number.
There we go.
I got it for you.
Lag.
Yeah, it's not asynchronous. Call a thread blocking.
So as a group, choose a new location to travel to by consulting the campaign map. The map for Lure of the Valley can be found on the cover of the campaign guide.
Yeah, so the first thing we have to do is clear the play area.
Discard all path cards. Oh man, we could have traversed without me taking that damage. That upsets me. Okay.
So I'm gonna get rid of Lone Tree Station, and we copied. This is the reason why when I do this, I copy the cards from the train set.
Yeah, so you don't have to take apart decks. I get it.
Yeah, these can just be deleted.
Yeah. This guy, he's there. He's a threat. This will go in my discard. And they are gone. Yeah. Okay.
So that was clearing the play area. Now we can look at the map and decide where we want to go.
We clear the
so
as well.
As we're at Lone Tree Station, we have the options of Ancestors Grove, Boulder Field, White Sky, or Atrox Mountain.
Do we clear the weather or no?
Not yet. Not yet. We haven't hit that yet.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the refresh step yet. I would say that this, I mean, we'll set up, but this is actually probably a good place to stop.
Yeah, yeah. This is a good showcasing of it for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go to Ancestors Grove. I'll make a call. Let's go to Ancestors Grove and let's see the setup of that.
Okay, since Ancestors Grove is not a pivotal location, it's not one of those gold spots. That's where we go to this set right here that's called the Valley set.
Okay.
And we shuffle it and draw 3 random cards.
And copy them for sure.
Yeah, just don't look at them. Go ahead and copy them if you want.
Yep. And put them back. Okay.
Yep. And then if we look at the map, in between Lone Tree Station and Ancestors Grove is this old growth symbol on here.
Okay.
So we would take the old growth set.
Okay.
Of cards.
All right.
And then those 2 things combined become our new path deck.
Okay, gotcha.
And how do we deal with the location? Or there is
so
none.
there's a location deck right here, and I'm going to search it for Ancestors Grove.
Do we reshuffle the challenge deck as well? The challenge discard?
No, only when the thing comes up.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I should not have deleted. Oh no, Lone Tree Station is there still. Okay.
So
I put it back in the deck. I didn't delete it.
okay. Choose a card from your ranger, discard, place it on top of your fatigue stack. Ooh.
Good.
Okay.
It's actually a location that has a challenge icon on it.
Okay.
Our last location did not. But it takes a lot more progress to get through.
Yeah.
Warp Ranger.
Yeah, it's 12.
And then back to the travel step. So the next step is decide to camp. So this is where we could say, you know what, maybe we don't have a whole lot of cards in our deck left, or maybe we all have 2 injuries. Let's camp.
Which would end the day.
Yeah. When you camp is when you get to customize your deck some more. I think to finish out the stream, I'll talk like maybe 3 or 4 minutes about how the decks are built, just so you can see that part.
Sure.
Because you'll be able to see that you have access to more cards than are actually currently in your deck. Plus, if we had interacted with someone or done a mission or something that gave us reward cards, this is when we could swap cards out of our deck.
Okay.
Reward deck.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm just curious for one thing before you go on the deck build aspect. So then it would be, after that step, it would be draw 1 ranger card, reset energy pool, ready all cards, and then we would lose this, flipping this to midday sun. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool.
We also would have to resolve on the back of this location, there's some setup.
Search the path deck for the next card with a presence of 3 and discard it. Search the path deck for the next prey and put it into play. Search the path deck for the next prey and put it into play. Okay.
Yep. So this is also built a little bit around the size of your group that's playing.
Yeah.
If you were playing solo, you would be the lead ranger. There would not be a next ranger, so you wouldn't do the next ranger.
So you just get 1 prey. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And if we were going to keep going, there's also a story entry 15 to read, but I don't think we need to do that.
Correct.
Yeah, so then we would do the refresh phase. Like you said, we would draw from our ranger deck. We would refresh our aspect. We would ready our rolls.
When I camp for the day, does my fatigue stat go back on my ranger deck?
Yep. So the way this is designed is that each day is a play session. So it's basically designed that when the day is over, it's kind of like putting everything back in the box. You don't have to physically do that, but it's kind of like doing that. So yeah, fatigue stack, discard stack goes back into the ranger deck. All of your equipment that you have equipped would go back into your deck. It has to be played again on the next day. It's kind of like a complete reset of the entire board.
So damage comes off everything.
Everything, yep.
Okay, all right.
So if you get 3 injuries, so if your day ends because you get 3 injuries, you get there's like a wound card or something. They're called maladies or something like that. That gets added to your deck. It does not count against your 30 card total.
Okay, but it's just something that comes up that clogs up the deck, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you end the day by fatiguing out, so if your deck gets emptied, or if you end the day because because somebody gets 3 injuries, then you don't get to do the customizing your deck step. You only get to do that if you're choosing to camp because you've done the travel.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
kind of want to plan around being able to camp.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Those were my questions. Go ahead and talk about the deck customization stuff.
All right. So when a ranger is created, the first thing you do is you would pick one of these aspect cards. All of them have some trait that has a 3 and some other trait that has a 1, and the other 2 traits are 2.
Okay.
So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick one of these aspect cards for your ranger.
Okay.
Then in this set of personality cards, you pick 1 green, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow, and you get 2 copies of
those cards that you picked.
Of those cards, whichever you pick. You do have to pay attention to that deck building little box and make sure that the aspect card that you chose fits with what you're picking here. Like this green card here, that has that 2 awareness on there.
Mm-hmm.
So if I chose an aspect where I only get 1 green, 1 awareness, I cannot take that card.
Okay.
Because it requires 2 awareness.
Okay, gotcha. Ooh. That makes sense. Okay,
so you get to pick 1 of each of these colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then from, I don't think it matters what order you do this in, but then you've got backgrounds and specialties. So let's start with backgrounds. There's 4 sets of backgrounds here, 1 for each row. So the top one, let's start with the top right one.
Okay.
This row, if you look at the bottom right, it's kind of in a line up and down where it says artisan, 1 of 9.
Yeah.
So this top row is the artisan background. There are 9 cards in this background. When you're building your deck, you get to pick 5 of these 9, and you take 2 copies of each card.
So based on the stat requirements of the aspect that you picked, you get to pick 5 of any of these.
Yes, and most of these are 2 and 1.
It averages itself out. It makes sense. I was just curious. Like, it's not, oh, you stuck with green, you're stuck with green. It's you can pick however you want as long as it matches your spec. Okay.
Right. So and if you start, so you pick 5 of these,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you camp and you don't like one of them that you chose, swap it out for another one.
At no cost. At no cost.
Yeah, no cost. Those are you have access to those 9 cards in whichever one of these 4 backgrounds you choose.
Okay, cool.
Pick 5. You get 2 copies of 5 of them.
Okay.
And then in the specialties, there's also 4 specialties, and these are also set up into rows. In these specialties, you get to pick 1 of 2 roles.
Okay.
That one you're stuck with. That's your role.
Yeah.
But out of these 14 cards for your specialty, you also get to pick 5 of these and put 2 copies of each of those into your deck.
Okay.
And then again, during the camping, you can swap other cards from your specialty in and out.
Okay.
So you've got 8 cards from personalities, 10 cards from backgrounds, and 10 cards from specialties. That's 28 cards. Your deck is 30 cards. The other 2 cards that you pick, you can look at the entire catalog of cards from the backgrounds and specialties and pick a card.
This is
you get 2 copies of that card.
Yeah, this is a min-maxer's dream.
It does narrow you down a little bit because once you pick like this middle aspect or one of these aspects, you're stuck with those 14 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to pick 5 of them. But having that one option of the last 2 that you get to pick can be from anywhere in the catalog. Like you were saying earlier, if when PacMan was making his deck and he really wanted that dog, but he wasn't the shepherd, he could take the dog.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's very cool. People who are into deck building will really, really like this. It opens up a lot of possibilities for combinations.
Yes. And the bottom row here is the shapers. I think it's the Shaper. Yeah, it's the Shaper specialty. That's the one we didn't play with. So this one, you're going to have what's called a conduit. So as an example, this Staff of the Sun right here is a conduit. It starts the game in play.
Yeah.
And comes out with a charge on it. But the other cards that you get here are called what's called manifestations. And in order to play a manifestation, it's kind of like a spell. You have to spin charges from your conduit. So it's an extra little mechanic with that particular.
I see. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. No, this game's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of potential.
We took a lot of time. We kind of had a little disaster at the beginning getting the caustic culture right after. We spent a lot of time working on that guy. But I think what's going to be really cool when the final game comes out is like you're going to have that breadcrumb mission at the beginning. We never actually even got a mission card from anybody. But we still found something to do with some of the humans that we found.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this game is going to shake up solo for sure. Janet says, "Great job, nice explanation, Zach. Great job." And it was. You did fantastic. I really appreciate it. G Golly, thanks for the playthrough. It was both educational and enjoyable. So. This was. I think this was a lot of fun. Let's head back up to the top. So I think this was a lot of fun. I like what I saw, but I need to see more. But I like where it's going. Yep. The art on the cards, the table presence is very, very attractive. It's art on the cards are very nice. I like that even though you're only doing one thing a turn, not a round, a turn. That one thing you can find ways to pull combos off to where you're doing more than one thing a turn. You just have to build that out and build out that strategy. I'm glad to hear that after you rest that everything that if it's not after you rest everything goes away, but when you move, persistent things stay. So I think that's cool. It took a little bit of a long time. It took a little bit of time before we really got going, but that was because you're explaining the rules, so that's expected. So no big deal. So I think I like what I saw of what I played so far. What do you think? What do you think, PacMan?
I like the game. I'd like to play it more. I would say. At first, I wasn't sure if we could chain cards, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
I don't know. But once we started chaining it, I think it worked pretty well. I'm used to doing two things at once, so it's just the only thing. But other than that, I'd like to see how this game progresses a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I thought it made sense after we got through the explanation. After I understood the symbols on the cards and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Dan says she's if she is this the right one I clicked on? Yeah, I don't know why this is super tiny. We're gonna make this big now. Okay, Janet says if her copy delivers before Gen Con, she'll bring it, which is great because I'm going to Gen Con, so I'll get to play it, and Janet and I are supposed to be meeting up there to hang out. So that'll be cool if it does deliver by that time. That'd be great to have it. So for me, I missed this Kickstarter. However, Zach was amazing, and he let me get on his pledge manager. So I'm getting a copy, but it'll be after Zach gets his. So then he'll mail it to me. But he'll mail it to me. But I think I did an all-in on this one. I think that's what we did when we did. I'm not sure. So once I get it, I'll play it more. I want to see how this thing plays solo. Like, that is my biggest curiosity. I'm very curious how this plays solo and if it scales well. So Zach, I don't know, did you get a chance to play this just solo? How does it scale?
I have played it solo, so you have to. The only thing about playing it solo is remembering that your ranger is going to have one of the four aspects where he only has one token. But there are ways to mitigate it. Like I think PacMan's deck was a good example because he only had one fitness, but he had a card in his deck that let that staff or that walking stick or whatever it is, that lets him traverse, which you would normally need the red tokens for by using his focus, and he has 3 focus.
The problem though is that it takes up a lot of slots. One, and
It does.
and 2, you have to draw it.
I do think in the rule book, if I remember correctly, there might be a place actually though where it says that if you're going to solo it, don't take an aspect that only has 1 red token.
So is there? I'm just looking at the aspects here, and that doesn't have 1 which token?
Red.
Oh, okay. So it's very specific on that. Okay, all right.
And I think that's because in order to move from location to location, you have to be able to traverse on the location, and that's a fitness test.
Okay, all right. So there is a specific rule for that. Okay, yeah.
It's not a rule; it's a suggestion.
Well, it's a suggestion to make you play, it so that you're not hindering yourself, basically. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah. This one I did back, and watching this playthrough, I'm still excited for it. Yeah. I saw the Kickstarter after the fact, and I looked through and I saw the art, and then I saw kind of I trust Zach's opinion. So when he was saying that it's a lot of fun, I was like, okay, I didn't get this. How can I get this? And then he was kind enough to let me hop on his pledge manager and get a copy for myself. So I want to get this to the table and I want to play it. And I really want to play it solo to see how it shakes out. Like this, it's cool. I'll say that for what I've played so far, I like what I've seen. I just need to play more.
And a couple other notes, like one of the things about their campaign and the company is this game is about these rangers who are protecting the valley, protecting the flora and the fauna of the valley. So one of the things that they committed to was having a high level of sustainability in the production of the game. So they're using, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like all recycled and recyclable cardboard for the production. They had to find like special paper and a special factory that could print the stuff that way. The game is not going to come wrapped in plastic. And I don't think there's any plastic at all in the game, except maybe what they had to...
I'm curious as to how they're gonna keep it sealed.
Well, there's stickers, but I can't remember if they actually had to go with the plastic stickers or if they found paper stickers or not. Okay. I can't remember.
Interesting.
But there are stickers that hold the box together.
But it's basically being very earth conscious.
Yes.
As they're delivering this. That's cool. I respect the heck out of that. That is really cool.
And there was one other thing I was going to say. Oh, there's also one of the other things that if you ordered it, there's a thing called the Ranger Doubler box. So what that does is it completely doubles all of those Ranger cards that we looked at that you can build decks with. So let's say you had a group of 4 people and both of you really wanted to be the shepherd background or specialty or whatever it is. I think it's a specialty. If you have the Ranger Doubler, then 2 people could actually have those cards available to them.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the Kickstarter now, and I just took us back down to the table so we could look at it.
And the other thing, I saw an interesting comment on the Discord for Earthborne Rangers, where someone made the point that in the rewards section, when you get a reward card, or a couple of reward cards, it says that you now have access to all of those reward cards in your collection. So if you have the Ranger Doubler, you might have 4 copies of a reward card instead of just the 2 that come in the core game. And your party would now have access to 2 sets of that reward. So it could be spread across some decks, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it was in the Kickstarter where they talked about this doubler. Oh, here it is. This includes divider cards and storage solution. The box holds all of the card content offered during the Kickstarter campaign, sleeves or no. And then there's the Ranger card doubler, an additional full playset of core set Ranger cards.
Yeah.
Nice. Legacy of the Ancestors campaign includes a full playset over 250 new Ranger cards, Ranger and Valley cards, and 1 campaign guide. To which I ask only, can you put that online for me? Book hunting has become my bane. Alright, the add-ons, which were the Ranger playmats, the Valley playmat. There's the art and lore book. There's minis to be used for Ranger tokens. Can we split up? Is that why there are different Ranger tokens?
That would be interesting.
No, they just have different images.
If you want to pick a different one. Okay. Alright, and deluxe energy token sets and all that other good stuff that's on here. So yeah, this is cool. The gameplay all in when they did the Kickstarter was 150, which by today's standards is amazing. So that they were able to do that and are still delivering while other companies didn't plan accordingly is still amazing. So great job. Great job, Earthborne team. Great job.
Yeah, and the expansion sounds cool too. Like you read, there's 250 more cards from the expansion that will add path cards, so more locations, more terrain sets, ranger cards, and more to the map.
Yeah, did you feel while you were playing? Did you feel when you were doing solo? I'm sure you played through the whole demo or pretty decent into it. Did you feel a grind at any time as you played?
I did not, but I haven't played enough to make it feel like a grind. So that is a comment that I have heard that if you're like constantly traveling through the woods, then you're going to see the same woods cards. That can play two ways though. That maybe you're getting more experience and you know exactly how to deal with that card. It's like we would know how to deal with the bucks and the does, and maybe it's not taking a whole lot of time for my gameplay now because I know how to deal with them.
Okay.
And I know I need to worry about them or not.
Yeah, which lends more to what you were saying about this is a game of discovery.
Right.
Yeah, so Janet says they found paper stickers but have already put on the plastic stickers to seal the box. So that's what they got with the box seals. Barrett, what is going on? Barrett, wow, what a collaboration. Two of my favorite people together. You mean PacMan and Zach? You're correct.
Hello.
Sadly, looks like I jumped on late and can't wait to watch it later. So, welcome, Barrett. So, okay, cool. Well, we are going to get out of here because it is super late on the East Coast.
Midnight, it's fine.
Thing real quick. We never really talked about it. I brought it up into Discord. Not Discord. Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, let me pop back over there. Okay.
Is the campaign tracking sheet.
Where's that? Oh, here we go. Okay.
It's on. I don't know if we can turn this.
We should be able to. Oh, yeah. I just need to unlock it. Boop. Turn, and then lock. There you go.
So the top of this is where you keep track of what day it is.
Okay.
And below that is their suggested weather. So when I play the campaign, I'm going to use their suggested weather. It does say in the rule book that if you want to make the campaign a little easier on yourself, you can pick whatever the weather you want. And it actually even also has, if you want to make the game more difficult, here's the most harsh weather. So just do that every day, kind of like that.
No thanks.
Where you would keep track of what day it is. And you can also see at the top here, like on day 1, there's an entry to read. On day 3, there's a new entry to read. And this is where the game might give you actually some stuff to do, but they just didn't put that stuff in the demo.
Yeah, which is fine. But current positions.
Where you keep track of your missions, and then there's a place of what reward cards you have. And then sometimes when you're doing something, it might tell you to, hey, write this down in your campaign tracker, which just happens in all these games nowadays where it's like, hey, go back and look, did we give you this keyword? If we did, then read this one. If not, then read that one.
Okay. It's a sprawling game that has a lot of sandbox. You're speaking my language. Like I said, I need to see more. I like what I've seen. I need to see more only because I want to see. I don't know how to put it. I want to see how this game unfolds, right? I want to see it in its entirety and how it unfolds. Is it that I'm going to move my and these are the things that my concern sits on. Is it that I'm going to have to go to the rings of the moon and then walk back to the lone tree to then walk all the way over to the bowl of the sun to walk back to the lone tree? You know, like I'm curious as to how this game unfolds. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. That's not my expectation. It's just more, I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So I'm very curious to see how this sandbox plays. If it's, okay, we're Rangers, we have an overall mission for a campaign, for a story, but in the meantime, we can do whatever the heck we want as true sandbox fashion. I almost said Starbucks. Sandbox fashion, that this really becomes what the devs envision. So I'm very, very curious.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do everything in one playthrough. I don't think there's too much to do, and there's not enough time in every single day to do it. So you could follow the mission of the game, or you could just explore. But you know, I want to try to play the story out.
And I think that's the thing for me too. Like, I want to be able to just stick to the story and have a wonderful experience and then come back and then do other stuff.
So I don't know if it's in the final game or not, but the first demo that came out during the Kickstarter, there was a mission that came with that one. And I think the story gave you, I can't remember for sure because it's been like over a year, but I think it gave you like 3 or 4 days to finish the mission. And in the meantime, you could do whatever.
Cool. I like that. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. That is going to be a wrap for this playthrough. Zach, thank you so much for taking the time to teach us this game and hang out with us on the channel. Yeah. You're always welcome on the channel. You know, you were there for our KDM playthroughs of fun and excitement. So hopefully you'll be more.
For a very brief attack, I would.
You did a very devastating attack on that brief play too. So just kind of let the people know what you got coming up on your channel.
So I might continue the demo that I'm playing of this on the channel. I've got one start video up for that. I'm also reacquainting myself with the Aeon Trespass Odyssey rules to continue my playthrough of that. And right now I currently have Isofarian Guard on the table in front of me.
You and me both. So yeah, cool. So watch for his channel. His channel's listing is in the description below. Loquitur Gaming. So go ahead and check that out. And he does some fantastic work. So give him some love. So go over there and check him out. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, my patrons, my YouTube subscribers. And if you're neither, just coming in and don't plan to be either, that is perfectly fine. Just realize that we all love you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
I gotta turn back to stare at you as we exit.
Oh no, it's awkward! It's awkward!